Hello, listening people.
Hello.
You're listening to Spin Polish Presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. I'm Ryan Sliwinski.
Iya and Bartek.
Alright, look, we are both called Spin Polish likingly because we're always spitting and we both happen to be Polish. And I think Bartek just tried to speak some Polish then.
That was half Polish, half English.
Well, there you go, you're half there. Spoiler alert for the bit where we introduce the title of the movie in Polish. I don't speak Polish, so I already don't understand what's happening in this episode. Bartek, what is it that we do on the show? Because I'm already lost. I am the TV show Lost, where I have great potential and great setups for things, but I just fall flat because I'm directed by J.J. Abrams and written by Damon Lindelof.
You lost the plot.
I never had one. That's the actual twist of Lost, is you thought there was going to be a plot, but then you realised there was none.
So on Spit & Polish presents Unappreciated Masterpieces, my oglądamy filmy, and then we come onto the show and we talk about them in a audio...
Wait, we're talking about what?
We talk about them in the movies in an audio commentary format. We talk about specific types of movies, the unappreciated masterpieces, and what we mean by those is they're the types of films who... Sorry, not who, which...
Which who?
Which who you may have...
How?
How well you may have heard of them in the last decade or so, or even this decade, or maybe the 90s. We haven't really touched any
I can't
other
wait to do one
but
from the 1940s.
I can't wait to do something from either of the not 3 decades we have touched so far.
Okay, I can't wait to do the 20s. Like the ones coming up. We just stopped doing the show for a couple of years and then we can touch a new decade.
Yeah, because we're not doing 80s or before.
No, I can't wait to do the Marvel movie in the 2020s.
Well, is that when their Marvel movies finally get unappreciated?
Definitely, they would have fallen by then.
Yes.
Predictions: Marvel will have fallen by 2024.
So getting back to what we do, unappreciated masterpieces are movies from, history that might have been respected or loved at one point but are no longer, or movies that have just been forgotten and never really had that respect. And what we want to do is we just want to highlight that these are not people, but these are movies. Mm-hmm. They are movies. They are there for your entertainment or maybe your education, who knows. Mm-hmm. We just want to shine a spotlight on it, make sure that everyone sees how much we love them, talking about why we love them, and maybe, just shedding some light into your hearts and your head. That's a noggin.
Oh, good.
And basically, at the end of the day, expanding your horizons to films that you might not ever say, hey, I feel like watching this, or wow, I'm going to go out and get a copy of this, or I'm going to Google this movie.
Whoa, but Bartek.
Whoa, but me?
What is the film that I feel like wanting to watch that I have bought a copy of and then I did Google?
Mm-hmm.
What's that one?
Anioł Stróż is the movie that we are watching today.
Of classic. Say that again.
Anioł Stróż.
You know what that sounds like? I'm not a Polish expert. I don't speak Polish, but that sounds awfully like a nice soup.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, that's a contradiction in terms with Poland. Saying that sounds like a nice soup in Poland. Poland has the blandest food in the universe. Yeah, it's like, hey, do you want to have nothing? Because it's tastier.
Yeah, soups are pretty much the extent of how much I love Polish food. The Polish word for soup is zupa, Ryan.
Oh, zupa!
Yep.
I love it. That sounds like you're ready for... That sounds like you would say something in mid-dance.
Zupa!
What I mean? Can you imagine you're in Poland and you're doing a dance like that and you just hear someone dancing and they just go soup?
What always throws me off here in Australia, there's a brand of ice balls called Zupa Dupas. That always makes me think soup dupas or something.
They are soupy.
And dupa almost sounds like dupa, which is the Polish word for ass.
Oh my god, are we watching ass?
Soup ass.
We're watching soup
All
ass.
of you who eat Zupa Dupas, you're eating soup ass.
Wait, soup ass? I know what we're watching.
Yeah?
Man of the house.
Yes, that's correct, even though Anioł means angel and Stróż means guard. So it would be...
Angel Guard.
Yeah, guardian angel guardian.
That's a movie I would watch.
Angel Guard.
Coming up this summer, starring Tommy Lee Jones from The Dead. It's Angel Guard, where Tommy Lee Jones has to play the guard of an angel. And that angel, of course, is Oprah Winfrey. Watch as he protects Oprah Winfrey from the evils of capitalism.
Everyone gets a Tommy Lee Jones punch. You get one. You get one.
You get one. So we are doing the 2005 classic that is Man of the House with Tommy Lee Jones.
Not to be confused with the 1995 one.
Without Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
So we have been joined not by Tommy Lee Jones, but someone just in the right temperament as Tommy Lee Jones.
Is it an angel guard?
It's not only an angel guard, but they're my guard. My girlfriend, Rachel Apps, on the show yet again. Hello, Rachel.
Hello, Ryan.
You're already happy to be here.
Now that's the voice of an angel guard.
Now that's the voice of my guard. So guys, we have been lucky enough to live in a universe in which Tommy Lee Jones made a comedy movie that wasn't Men in Black.
Yeah.
And
but it has the word man in the title, so
and I'm sure and there's a black person in it, so
yeah.
There you go.
And it's directed by the guy who directed Excellent Adventure of Bill and Ted's.
Oh, I thought you just meant they directed Excellent Adventure. I'm like, what movie is that? Oh, it's a movie about historical accuracy. I'm like, I knew it. All right, guys. What you're going to do is you're going to get a copy of Man of the House prepared. I imagine you all have a legal copy, a DVD, a downloaded, maybe a rental copy. Hey, maybe you're a bit exciting. Maybe you have a VHS copy. If you do, I'm proud of you. And you're going to get your copy ready because you're going to watch this along with us. I'm going to do... No, you're forced. Like the cheerleaders in this movie are forced to live with Tommy Lee Jones. Mm-hmm. That's the plot, by the way. Tommy Lee Jones lives with cheerleaders.
In a sorority house. Yeah.
No, just lives with them. Like, they all live in different houses, but he splits himself across each one of them.
Yeah.
You guys get your copy ready because we're going to start this in 3, 2, 1, play. So we are 2 seconds in. 3, 4. You know, and there's Tommy Lee himself right there. Yep. I knew you were going to join in. So I'm going to leap straight on into this film. Pom-pom first. This movie I know very, very well. This is a movie that I've described on this show before in the terms of it was on DVD and DVDs were new and my parents were like, I know that actor or I know that movie. They didn't know Man of the House, but they went, Tommy Lee Jones. I like Tommy Lee Jones. I'll buy that DVD. And I've had this movie for a very long time in my DVD collection. I've watched it many, many a times. My attitudes towards the film has grown in many, many different ways. You know, this is a film not to beat around the bush. It's a film, which I did live in, by the way. No, it's a film where beautiful young women are there, and I grew up watching it during adolescence, so my maturity towards the film became a lot different with each viewing, I think. And I felt like this is a movie in which it's appropriate for both children and adults.
Yeah.
Bartek, what about you? What's your history with Man of the House?
I'd never watched it before, and when you told me we were doing it, I kept mixing with Bringing Down the House.
We already did that show. We already did that on the show.
Four-word title that ends with house. You know.
Yeah.
It was a bit tricky, but I got used to the title.
House. He thought we were going to watch the TV show with Hugh Laurie. And he was like, okay, I guess I'll have to... How much of it? All of it, Bartek. We're doing the whole entire show. I've only got one night. You better pack it in.
I've only seen like the first 9-ish episodes.
Yeah, that's all you need. Spoiler alert. You only need to see one episode of House to get the gist of what House is about.
Yeah.
It's, I'm not English. I'm American and I'm angry. And I say it's this disease in the first act of the show. No one believes me for some reason because I'm cranky and have a cane. And then in the third act of the show, it's revealed I was right. The end. Is that a good summary of the show, Rachel? You're a big House fan.
Somewhat.
Oh, sorry. I forgot one. You're black. And there's that when the black character was in house, he would often comment, this is not a joke, he would often comment that he was black. Like, there would be no witticisms in there. Like, you think it's witty because Hugh Laurie's saying it, but here's the thing. It's not witty because he's saying it with an American accent. If it was him saying it with a British accent, you'd think there was some witty cynicism in there. But no. It's just him being like, damn it, this is the disease. You're black. Listen to me. That's the show. And there was an Australian character in there, and he goes, all right, didgeridoo. How about you didgeridoo? And it's just like, okay, calm down. You know?
Lame dad jokes or something?
He was a drug addict, so I guess. But either way, your history. Rachel wants to defend House.
It's only Vicodin.
Oh, well, I guess that's okay.
It's
hey, Bartek, it's okay to get addictions to prescription drugs.
It's less bad.
Bartek, so you're saying your history is
really common in things set in hospitals.
I like hospitals.
I like House.
So
I like having a house.
So haven't seen it before. Really enjoyed it when I watched it. I liked his ringtone, a bit of a Rick James.
Not Rick Perry?
No. I thought it was, MC Hammer, but I was wrong. Very naughty me.
Naughty Bartek.
I like Cedric the Entertainer. He's done great things such as this and Ice Age.
Yeah, and the black remake of The Honeymooners.
Ice Age.
Which is on the list. I love Ice Age.
It was very funny. He wanted that dandelion, but he didn't get to eat it.
Wait, which one was he in?
He was in the first one.
As what?
He played a rhino.
Oh, yeah, yep. I thought, yep.
It's the last dandelion of the season.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, same here.
So your history with this movie is you like Cedric the Entertainer?
I'm not really that familiar with him, so this was a case
CGI
of...
rock? Good. Weird that Dwayne Johnson appeared in this movie as a CGI character.
I looked at them like, was that an Ice Cube?
it was actually Ice Cube. You're right.
Do you think it was because of the Asians?
The Asians? In Race to Witch Mountain episode, a guest blamed Asians for Dwayne Johnson's lack of a good movie career. And you're right. Rachel, what's your history with this fantastic film, Man of the House?
At one point in the past, I think in high school, I did watch it. So I have watched it before.
Oh, good.
And
was it on TV?
No, I believe that I rented it.
You rented? You did personally, or your mum?
I did.
So okay, let's get the mindset. You're, how old would you say?
17?
17-year-old Rachel likes boys. She's there at the local video rental store. There's so many choices. You could watch Avatar. You could watch all of these big movies, but there you see Tommy Lee Jones, this is the actual cover, with his arms folded in the Texas Ranger outfit, giving you an angry look with a bunch of hot women around him, and you said, yeah, that's the one.
I think I needed another weekly to get the discount.
Okay. So that was the one?
Yeah.
I like this song too.
Yeah, great song. They're coming in, great song. So you were saying?
Yeah. So I watched it, completely forgot about it except for some of the beautiful lines that Tommy Lee Jones does have in this film, and then rediscovered it thanks to Unappreciated Masterpieces.
Well, there you go. That's the gift of...
Wait, so you've listened to this episode already?
Yeah. Hey, fun fact, I'm pretty sure that the guy who gets killed in this movie...
The Morgan guy?
Ball, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure... I may be wrong, I didn't look him up, but I think he's the guy in Jingle All the Way that plays Booster, the toy that nobody wants. Turbo Man is the toy everybody wants in that, and it's like his sidekick Booster. He plays Booster in that movie, like when they go to the fair at the end. I'm pretty sure that's him. So in this movie, I was like, no, look, Booster, nobody wants him still. They just want him dead. They don't even want his key. Which...
At least he's friends with Cedric the Entertainer.
Everyone's friends with Cedric the Entertainer.
What's his name? Percy?
Percy Stevens. No, Percy Jones, but he's a Percy someone. Here's a question.
Ask me a
question. None of us are from America, and none of us know very many African Americans, I would say. Is Percy a common black name?
See, I've always thought it was more British, because there's Percy Weasley, and I think there was a Percy in Thomas the Tank Engine.
Percy
So
Jackson.
all
Percy.
the Percys that I can think of are British. What's Percy Jackson?
Lightning thief, man.
No, yeah, but like
He's
nationality.
I
He's
believe
what?
He's Caucasian, but he's like the son
He's a white
of a
American
Greek
boy.
demigod. So
But his dad's Pierce Brosnan, so isn't his dad? He's Centaur. His dad's
yeah.
half man, half horse. Weird thing that Pierce Brosnan's head is the horse and his body is the human. It's very weird.
So I guess Percy, I always kind of think of it as like a white, maybe even slightly upper classish
But
name.
you know
But
better
then-
now, having watched 2 movies with characters,
Well, and
black
Percy-
characters called Percy.
And Percy Jones kind of does fit the upper class sort of
Yeah,
thing.
what? You saying Percy Stevens doesn't? He's a minister, baby.
Yeah, he's
And he has gold watches.
He's also an ex-con.
Hey, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything, man. Some of the richest
also-
people are ex-cons.
He also talked on the phone with poo-poo on it.
Well, who doesn't? He's literally talking shit. Like we are. I think we know experience of talking shit. So, Bartek, I've got a real question for you now.
Not a fake one. Good, finally.
Do you like this strong female protagonist character?
I like all of her scenes.
Prepare to enjoy her for one last time. Because we never see her again.
Yeah, by the end of the movie, I was like, oh, she didn't come back.
No, I actually thought, he's going to visit her in the hospital. That would be like one of his character arcs. Because there's a bit where it's like, how come you don't visit her in the hospital? It's like, I'm Tommy Lee Jones, that's why. It's like, at the end, you think he's going to get it. Oh, by the way, Bartek, she's said to have been wounded. She's shot in the heart with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, I noticed that it was in the left chest, so I was like,
The left chest. The left chest.
because that's where the heart is.
Yeah, I know, but like you didn't say left side of the chest. You said left chest. Like you got 2 chests, right?
So what's
you got
the
your right
what's,
chest.
What's the the pec? I meant the left pec. Is that?
Yeah,
what it's
she's
called?
got breasts.
Yeah.
So
The left boobie.
There you go. The left side of the sternum, if we want to go detail.
It's a good thing I said left boobie. Now people aren't laughing. They're like, yes, very good.
It would have been embarrassing if you said left titty. Then they would be like, oh, that's inappropriate. That's like misogyny right there.
The left man.
And we don't like misogyny on Spit and Polish.
the left.
Racism, sure, but misogyny, that's where we draw the line.
The left.
Well, sorority boys stopped sexism.
Well, every movie that we've watched doesn't have any form of sexism.
The left part of a bitch's chest.
There you go, left part of a hoe, thank you.
Yes.
So, yeah, she's
A super freak hoe.
You have a beautiful way with language, boys.
I speak too.
He speaks neither of them very well.
I trying harder.
Oh, good. So, but Rachel, if you were a Texas Ranger or an FBI agent, and you're running after a villain who's trying to kill your lead witness, would you casually stroll over to the gunman without your gun even facing up?
I think, well, Tommy Lee Jones is an experienced officer.
Yeah, so he knows better.
The door's open, so it's fairly obvious that he's not going to be there.
Oh, it's fairly obvious that the guy couldn't just be hiding and just shoot him either.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bartek, for the adding of the noise there. I'll make sure to edit that to make it an even weirder noise.
Well, there was a bit of awkward silence.
You
so I
went
was like,
pew, and I'll add like a lightsaber sound for no reason.
yeah. See, there was a bit of awkward silence there, so I'm like, well, I think maybe...
Was it awkward until you interrupted it?
Yeah,
Maybe it was just normal
because
silence,
we were
and then
talking-
you went
We
pew.
were about like gunshots, and I was like, maybe you guys don't know what that is.
What is
The
a gunshot?
So you know how you have those gun things?
Goons, I know goon. It's a form of tasty beverage.
You know how the guns in like the pivot point have that little penis thing?
Yeah.
And if you like
Oh, you mean the
squeeze it-
foreskin?
Yeah. The if you squeeze it, it makes a pew sound if there's a bullet.
That's the ejaculation. Yeah.
A bullet in it, in the magazine.
No, it's called semen. Yeah.
Yeah, a bullet in the magazine. It makes a pew sound.
Now, Bartek, you're a detective of sorts.
Yes.
I'm very glad that Mr. Potato Head was in this movie, but no. When you saw the guy get shot to death, that guy got stomped to death. Did you have any feelings of who it could have been?
Sorry,
Before-
ask the question
Who
again.
did you suspect who the shooter was before it was revealed? Like, did you have any suspicions?
Actually, no.
Wow.
That's a Yeah.
That's exactly the audience that this movie wanted. And I think that's the audience that it didn't get. They wanted an audience like Bartek.
Yeah, it's a good question though, because the original shooter had like a sniper rifle. And
Yeah.
Like, what happened to the sniper rifle?
I don't
They
know,
should have
man.
put it in the cabinet.
Yeah.
That's a callback.
Yeah. Oh, call back to the cabinet. Yeah.
No, callback to Wolf Creek 2.
I just have a question. Why is he meeting his 17-year-old daughter in a bar?
Because he's a bad father. This is established.
Okay.
This is established by the fact that he's wearing his hat too far back on his head.
Like, he just can't be bothered to fully take it off.
I
There's
like-
no room on the table for it.
I like his daughter. She's a great actress. She's in the TV show Raising Hope. She's kind of got a... You know who she reminds me of? Ellen Page. And Minnie Driver had a child. And this is their daughter. Yeah, so that's it. Or she would be friends with the lead chick from Vampire Academy. She would be friends with her. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
I'm not your sister, but I'm your good friend.
I feel like they could be cousins as well.
Oh yeah, this is actually the same universe as Vampire Academy, because in that movie humans exist and they do and don't know about vampires. So I guess this is, if you said Tommy Lee Jones also hunted vampires in his spare time, I'd believe you.
She would be
he
she'd
could
be
be an alchemist.
she'd be a bit more blunt about that dress.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she'd be like, this is my dress. It's not a dress.
This is so my dress. Like, you know what? It's just a black dress.
So he is the best character in the movie. And you know who this is, Bartek. I hope that you know who this actor is. He's famous. The Chief.
Yes.
Do you know him?
Yes, he's currently asking Tommy Lee Jones if he sucks dick.
No. Who is he for the listening audience?
It's Lee Ermey.
And what's he famous for?
He is famous for Full Metal Jacket, which was what I referenced a second ago.
As the drill sergeant.
As the drill sergeant.
He is, to me, an inspiration for any actor. Because he wasn't an actor. He was an actual drill sergeant.
Yep.
And he was just so impressive that they made him an actor in that movie. And other movies. Like, I think he had already done a bit of acting before Full Metal Jacket, but I think it was the same circumstances. Like, he was their military advisor, and he was just so impressive. They're like, come on in.
You really need a script. You can improvise, yeah.
Which is very weird, you know. That's what confused me about Kubrick. Kubrick was the guy who's like, need 148 takes of something, but every famous moment in his movies are great moments of improvisation. He was very much for improvisation.
He knows when to use it.
It seems like he's very much for it, but his attitude that we know of him as a director would seem very much against that.
Just like
Meticulous.
high standards, yeah.
Yeah, he was meticulous, but he allowed improvisation. Like, everything Ali Ermey said is all improvised, basically. I think, like, pretty much everything he does in that movie. And I really liked his character in this, and I was really upset we didn't see him again.
Yeah.
I think one of his last scenes in the movie is the scene that I would point to in this movie as possibly one of my favorite outside of Tommy Lee.
Is it where he asks how the arm is?
Yeah, it's like later on, the FBI guy is like, I'm going to give you a subpoena if you don't. And he's like, my desk is already pretty messy.
Yeah.
What's one more piece of paper? And he's like leaning back, and he's got like that Ali Ermey grin. Ali Ermey is an inspiration to me because he knows what he is. He didn't have any real formal acting training. He's just kind of gotten into it. He plays army men, soldiers, he plays
a drill sergeant in a lot of things, like from
Cops.
movies to even SpongeBob SquarePants.
cops. He's got a great voice.
See, you just missed the first line where it establishes that she has the hots for the Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes, this was something I noted down in my notes last night. Bartek, I want to know, did you note that one of the blonde-haired girls had an attraction to Tommy Lee Jones in this movie before it was set up later that they, like, he's too old? There's a bit later where they're like, it wouldn't work. He's too old for you. I was sitting there going, wait, what?
I didn't pick it up in this scene.
Did you pick it up during the movie before, though?
Much later when, like, it was a bit more obvious. I was like, oh, was that meant to be a thing?
Oh, okay. I was totally lost. There's a point later in which the girl's really upset because he's getting on a date.
Yeah.
And they're like, all the other girls are like, come on, sweetie, it won't work. He's too old for you. I'm like,
that was where I was like, what?
that's where I was what? So you didn't know before that point? Before the point where they explicitly said you're in love with him, basically.
It was where she was like upset that I was like, oh, that was meant to be a thing?
Okay, thank you, Rachel. See? us two men here didn't notice this, but Rachel said to me last night, she goes, no, they set this up.
Could I ask though, Rachel, what was the line they said? She said?
I like an older man who knows what he wants.
Oh,
well, I guess I should know.
She's giving googly eyes.
Well, I remember that.
She's always giving googly eyes.
See, I remember that line though. I just didn't pick up that that was going to be a real thing.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I thought that
either.
was just one of the million of characterization things.
Thank you. Here's what my interpretation of love was in this movie. I thought, because I've watched this before as well, so I kind of forgot. I remember there was a strong relationship between Tommy Lee and I forget their names.
Same.
The brunette one who
The southern accent one?
they're all southern.
This is why we should have learned his acronym.
So yeah, I guess the one that's leaning over the desk currently.
Okay, so the
one from Death Proof. So chick from Death Proof.
Yeah.
Is very much like Tommy Lee. Like, she's the more masculine one. She knows stuff.
Is she the one that likes Full Metal Jacket?
She likes Full Metal Jacket,
yeah.
which is great because Ali Ermey's in this.
She's
So
the
I just
one that-
connected that. Yeah, great.
She's the one that I'm like, oh yeah, she's the southern one because her accent's really thick.
Oh, yeah. She's thick accent and weird nostrils. Look out for that. So, I thought, okay, they have a camaraderie ship between them. He likes her. But he doesn't understand why she's a cheerleader. And then later on, she's hitting on she's being hit on by one of his guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, absolutely, he walks in, is absolutely...
She's hitting on him again now.
Well, she doesn't know it's him behind there. I think she just, in this scene, she's adjusting her breasts. I think she just is like...
Well, she also writes high.
Yeah, but I think... How does she know that he's behind there? It's like, he could be anyone. Like, I thought this was just, she's doing it for whatever guy's behind there.
I did too.
Thank you, bud.
But now that, Rachel's kind of brought that in my head, I'm like, oh, I guess that's what she's doing.
Little did she know it was only Ali Ermey behind there with his pants down. So this guy here who plays Eli in Boardwalk Empire, really good actor, by the way, this guy. He's really underappreciated, I think, as an actor. He's been in lots. He later on is forming a relationship with chick from Death Proof.
Oh, yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones walks in.
Astrology thing, yeah.
He walks in and is absolutely dumbfounded. And I'm like, oh, he's upset by this. Like, he's upset because he likes her a bit. Like, you know? And then it's like, oh, no. Yeah, he's doing his job. But I was like, oh, okay, so they set this up and blah, blah, blah. And then I was wrong. I should have known that Tommy Lee feels nothing for these girls in any sort of way.
Yeah,
and that he only likes older women who give him advice on tampons and pads.
Yeah, see, I interpreted that as like, what are you doing outside? Get back inside.
Yeah, or I interpreted that as, don't get your dick wet, son. She's only a girl.
I think not her, but the other brunette. I saw I watched a video on YouTube. It was like an interview with the 5 girls. And they're... half the video was like basically showing clips from the film, and then like maybe half the video was actually answering questions.
Okay, yeah.
And they kept asking them questions about, hey, what do you think of Tommy Lee Jones? Like, is he intimidating? They're like, oh, no, not really. You know, sometimes it's a bit awkward in the side rooms, but it's fine. And then one of them, and I think it's the other brunette one, is like, oh, sometimes I just get the urge to tickle him.
You too. Look at his face. Don't you want to tickle that? Now, this is an iconic scene here. Yeah, this is a scene in which he's saying, put on seatbelts. And they're like...
setting his rules.
And it has one of the best... He has great quotes in this, I think. Like, he has the whole... I saw that too. I see everything. It's just Tommy Lee Jones has a certain delivery. Guys, what's our relationship with Tommy Lee Jones? What do we know him from, and what do we feel about him as an actor in general and an actor in this?
I'll go first. I mainly know him from a series that we've already mentioned, Men in Black.
Ah, good.
I might have seen him in some other things, but I'm really mostly familiar with that trilogy. Trilogy. He's not really in the third one too much, but first 2 I've seen quite a number of times in my, my teenagehood, adolescence. And yeah, I like them. He's got a really good dynamic with Will Smith. And
you like his style? Because it's very similar style in this movie too.
He's
stern.
Very comedically straight man.
And you appreciate that?
Yeah,
And you think it works to his advantage in this film?
In this film, yes, because he has great lines that he gives with a straight face, but he also has, Those moments where they even use this term, give him kind of a chill pill. And I kind of joked about this before we started the episode, but this movie really explores how certain men talk to women, because there's a lot of example, like the partner at the beginning, the cheerleaders, the daughter, the love interest, the fact that he's divorced. I feel like Tommy Lee Jones is covering a lot of ground in terms of how his character would behave around different people.
I agree, and I think Tommy Lee Jones has a lot more legwork in this than he does in Men in Black, because in Men in Black he's playing one of a pair, right? Yeah. In this, he's playing by himself. Like, I know he's got the cheerleaders bounce off, but he's really having to carry the whole movie on his comedic wits alone. And I think it's very indicative of the style of comedy this is, of the time. We've talked about this on the show before, but, like, this is a written comedy. This isn't, like, improvisation. We've come up with loose plot, let's make it up on the spot, kind of like, you know, Year One kind of did on our show. That's kind of like that. But this is indicative where I really think that we should applaud this for saying, here's a comedy movie where the straight man is by himself. There is no idiot to bounce off of. Really, like, here's these girls, but
he's interacting with people that aren't as straight as him.
But they're not idiots like Will Smith. Like, Will Smith's an idiot in Men in Black. Like, he's smart, but he's still an idiot.
Chili's kind of stereotyped, but, you know, believable.
He has to carry this movie as a straight man. The straight man makes the movie. He is the movie. Now, Rachel, what about you? What's your relationship with Tommy Lee Jones? What have you seen him in? What do you think of him as an actor? And what do you think of him in this film?
And your boyfriend's listening to every single word.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind.
Okay. I think I only really remember him in the Men in Black films. I feel like I've seen him in a movie with Harrison Ford.
That's called The Fugitive. He won an Oscar for that.
Yep. I just didn't
Let's not forget Oscar winner here, guys.
I didn't want to say that it was The Fugitive just in case it wasn't.
You're right. It was Indiana Jones. He was the Temple of Doom.
Well, he is at the top of the pyramid of this film. It is on the brunt of his shoulders.
So you know him from Men in Black.
Yes, and The Fugitive, the one time that I watched it.
Oh.
I possibly rented with this film.
Good. Good double feature, actually, because he plays a cop in both of them.
Yeah, he's the straight man in that other film too.
Well, yeah, The Fugitive, Bartek. You know
tones.
The Fugitive. It has the.
I think I've seen it.
I do believe The Fugitive's one with the iconic scene, because, you know, Harrison Ford's not guilty of a crime, but he's being pursued by Tommy Lee Jones because he thinks he is guilty. It has a famous scene where he's like, you see The Simpsons rip this off with Milhouse, where he's in the, what is it, the pipe? The pipe with the water spewing out of it, and he's on the edge of it.
Near a reservoir.
Near a reservoir, and he's like, I didn't do it. And the cop, which is Tommy Lee Jones, is like, I don't care, I'm taking you in. And then he jumps out into the reservoir, and the Tommy Lee Jones character, like, looks out and he sees him through the water.
Was there a scene like that in Metal Gear Solid 3?
Possible. Possible. Like, I can't remember. Look, you could say
like,
any famous 1980s to 1990s Hollywood action thing. Was that in Metal Gear Solid? The answer's yes.
So that's the thing where, like, you're at the end of a pipe and it's basically a waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You know that from Simpsons as well, where it's like,
I remember that.
Bart did that to Mill. I was just like, it's not me, I swear. It's like, I don't care.
I've seen many parodies of
So, what do you think of him as an actor, though?
He's usually very good. Like, he does what he does very well.
And what is it that he does?
He never feels like he's just being Tommy Lee Jones.
But isn't he the same in every movie?
No, he's always slightly different. He has those core values.
Yeah, the Tommy values, I call them.
The top layer of his character is always
What are his core values to you?
Justice.
Justice, okay. Tommy Lee's core values. Justice.
The fact that he's always right.
Big right.
If we were talking about alignments, would he be on the lawful scale?
Definitely. He'd be lawful. I think he'd be lawful good.
Yeah.
He usually plays good people. I mean, that's not always the case. Let's not forget he was Two-Face in Batman Forever. And he was also in the Steven Seagal movie, The Siege, as one of the best movie bad guys.
I feel like he may be lawful lawful neutral because he is protecting these cheerleaders, but he is doing it so that somebody will be sent after them to try and kill them.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
No, I don't agree with that.
He does. He says it later on that they're waiting for somebody to come and attack.
Yeah,
these girls.
but he's not setting them up as bait. Like, he's doing everything in his power so nobody knows that they're the witnesses. I don't think that's the case. Like, you know, he could set them up as bait, but I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's just doing his job. Like, eventually someone's gonna find out in some way or form, and we have to be there. I don't think he's using them as bait.
And his
for
daughter ends up
being that. Yeah,
and
he didn't know that. He didn't make it that his daughter was that. That just happened.
I wasn't sure, but I think he could be lawful good. I think he's acting for the sake of good.
He's doing it for
he
the sake
just
of
wants
good.
to protect them,
Yeah,
witness protection.
I feel like he can lead either way.
Look, he's doing lawful good here.
I feel like he's.
I hate mascots.
I just think the fact that he's not necessarily traditionally friendly might lead you to think he might be more neutral. But I think good is.
Bartek, what do you think of this scene here?
Post 9/11 world.
Definitely, if you're going to use a water gun, use one of those fluoro-colored plastic ones.
Yeah, think Bartek.
Don't hide it.
Rachel said this, and it's because I said this last night. This is post 9/11, where America's at the height of paranoia and stuff. Columbine's already happened at this point. This kid walks up with an Uzi.
Yeah, water guns
and it's painted like an Uzi. Like, it's not like you said, bright, colourful. So, I feel like Tommy Lee Jones did the right thing. Like, even if he wasn't a cop, I feel like someone needed to do that.
It's like that one thing that they keep mentioning every time, like, someone who's carrying a fake weapon gets caught in things. Like, when you see people dressed as stormtroopers and people freak out about that. Like, yeah, you can recognize the fact that they're clearly a cultural icon, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
It's basically that attitude. Better safe than sorry. Treat it as seriously as you can because it might, just be a disguise.
Also, people don't dress up as stormtroopers to their local football game and carry an Uzi. Like, at least with a stormtrooper, if you see someone a stormtrooper and they have a gun, you're like, well, that makes sense, they're a stormtrooper. But if you just see a random high school mascot with a machine...
holding, like, a cone, like, are you hiding something there?
Oh, but then even when it's revealed and it's a gun, you're like, ooh, okay. I love this scene here of Jimmy.
Yeah.
You never see him again.
He looks a little bit like Fabio, but, like, kind of druggy.
He also reminds me of
Fabio's drug dealer.
The live action version of... Did you ever watch Doug?
Yeah.
You know the bully in that show?
Yeah, with the cat and the jacket.
Yeah, and he has the hair.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the live action version of that. Like, his hair isn't like how it is, but his voice similar-esque to me, and his mentality. Like, if you gave that guy a leather jacket, he could do a live action version of that character. I can't remember what was the bully's name. I never really liked Doug that much. Doug was not a show for me. I'd rather Cat Dog.
Yeah, he had some kind of, I don't think it was Lester or something, but it was some kind of name.
Wouldn't it be weird if it was Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Look, you have this emotional scene.
I can't remember his name.
It's okay. So,
I'm sorry.
Tommy Lee Jones, famous actor. I like him a lot. I know him from many things. Men in Black is the gateway, of course. Mm-hmm. But I really like him. He's played a versatile amount of stuff while still being Tommy Lee Jones. Like, The Fugitive, he won an Oscar for. Like, that's a big one. Like, he playing a cop and then later on he had a sequel to that movie in which Robert Downey Jr. was the villain, fun enough. And he was in The Siege, which is one of the good Steven Seagal movies. Like, if you want to see Steven Seagal actually work as an action star, which I still don't think he does, but if you want to see a movie, see that one, because Tommy Lee Jones, not kidding, Tommy Lee Jones wears a diamond earring in that movie. He has longish hair, not really long, but long for this standard. He's young, and he wears a jacket, a suit jacket over a normal cut shirt with jeans, with nice pointed shoes, and the jacket has pinstripes that are silver and they gleam like glittery. It's great. And he's also a very flamboyant villain in that movie too, where he's like got a pistol and he's like walking around campily with it. It's so good, but he's still intimidating. That's what I love about Tommy. He can be scary, he can be righteous, he can be flamboyant, and he can still be stoic. And that performance is all summed up as him as
Okay,
Two-Face.
Ryan, how jealous do you want to make Rachel about your crush on him? Jesus.
Don't you love that face?
That's a good face. But anyway, we're meeting a new character.
Yeah, the blonde chick, yeah.
Good point, but I'm talking about her.
Oh, what was that noise?
Good question.
Her.
I'm not entirely sure.
Was that the noise? I thought you were making a reference to she makes that noise before she speaks each time. Like, her actress quirk is she goes, so Tommy.
I was inhaling, but then I just kind of
Tommy.
half gritted my teeth. I don't know.
Tommy Lee was so.
But anyway,
Wow.
she has a line here where she mentions she really doesn't like cheerleaders.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought that would kind of
Play into something.
Yeah, like that kind of almost seems like a setup for you're not meant to like this character.
I'm shocked because I know her from one thing only, and that's the TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where she plays Danny DeVito's bitch of a wife, and she gets killed off in the first season because she's so evil, and I'm used to her being a bitch. And I'm seeing her in this movie, and she's still playing the exact same character, but she's the romantic lead.
I guess the fact that Tommy Lee Jones
Is a dick?
all smiley and like kind of into her here is meant to lead us to believe otherwise.
Well, he was into her during the lecture. He was like fully paying attention.
No, well, like you said, that face, Ryan.
I mean, look at that. He's looked like that forever.
Yeah.
I think that's a part of the charm of him. He's always looked like Tommy Lee Jones. Like, I've never seen Tommy Lee Jones not look like Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, sure, there's been movies where he's shaved his head and whatever, but he's always got that stoic face. He's the reason why Men in Black works, and he's also the reason why it doesn't work. Like, Men in Black 2 doesn't work because they already established that he should not be in it, but they realized you can't not have him in it because he was the best part of that.
Because he was one of the men.
Because he was also the best. For me, as a kid, I always thought he was funny. Will Smith was funny, but it was like Tommy Lee Jones was
being
like
charismatic. Basically.
Tommy Lee Jones was funny because he was so serious. Like, that's where he is in this movie.
It's like how in Men in Black 3, his eulogies is basically just a blunt line.
Yeah, and it's great when they have Josh Brolin play a young version of him because he's basically the new Tommy Lee Jones. So here's a question I want to ask you guys. Now, I've asked many questions, but I think this is the quintessential man of the house question. Who's the man of the house?
I would assume that it's the guy on the poster with his arms crossed looking like he has a lot of authority.
No, not the chick from Death Proof. I'm asking you who's the man of the house.
Okay, I'll bite. I think it's Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay, good thought. Rachel, you gonna bite? Who's the man of the house?
Sorry,
it's
Roland.
Like the captain.
Roland who?
It's the captain of the cheer squad.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a good answer.
She gets what she wants.
The 2 times she brings up that she's the captain of the cheer squad, Tommy Lee Jones goes with it.
This is my happy face. I love him doing that. That's also a great line. This is my happy face.
So, Ryan.
Who's the man of the house?
Yes, who's the man of the house?
Well, clearly you guys didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
Clearly we're the man of the house. Because we're the ones getting the opportunity to watch this and not turn it off.
We are the men of the house.
Which I think keep Austin weird. I think the cool thing about this movie is it's a lighthearted comedy. It's not trying to be raunchy. The idea, can you imagine this movie done post 2010? It would be an R-rated comedy with nudity, unnecessary swearing and sex. This is a nice, light-hearted comedy.
More I was going to say traditionally comedic actors, but... You
know, No. Like, for this, they would still have Tommy Lee Jones, but he would be saying fuck and shit, and
He'd be more edgy, I guess? No,
yeah.
edgy.
Or, no, they would have The Rock. They would have The Rock as it, and he would have to be trying to play stoic. Well, here's what the 2010 version would be. They would still be doing this plot, yeah? But it would be playing more on the fact that his 2 dumbass detectives they would play more into the plot. In a new version of this, in a modern day comedy, they would play more into the plot of trying to hit on these girls, do all of this espionage shit to actually get with them.
And, like, he'll catch them having sex with them.
Yeah, and he'll be like, boys! Like, blah, blah. And the
Sorry,
villain
dude.
would be... And then in the third act, it would be an unnecessarily weird drama, which all comedy crime movies turn into in the modern age. They, like, in the third act, they turn dead serious and the jokes go away until, like, last minute.
And you probably wouldn't have this scene here. With the...
Where he cuts his own pizza? Yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't cut it for him?
Apparently, this pizza is an actual pizza from the store that, like, they referenced.
Yeah, it's still around.
What was it called again? The pizza?
It was like the meat
meat-
man or something.
You do see the van again later.
Wait, watch this. He's cutting the pizza himself, which is weird in itself. But then I love it when he actually serves himself the pizza. He's old, yeah? So but he's a detective, yeah? He barely gets it over the pizza box. Just watch.
He what?
He barely gets it over the pizza box, like lifts it over the slice that he's about to take. It's like he struggles with it. Like, this must be like the 16th take and his wrist is tired from having to lift it so many times. I'm really exaggerating. Like, this feels like I'm exaggerating. Like, you're gonna watch it like, oh, it's not that bad, right? But I just remember it. Like, look. He's struggling there. He's like, okay. Like, why is he... He's just...
Why did he put it on top of the pizza?
He's holding it like it may run away. And then, like... Yeah, and then he plays around with it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just remembering that he lifts it over the other pizza and he struggled doing... Yeah, he just struggled doing that. Like, it was a big effort for him. Like, he just puts
you
it down.
noticing something minor, Ryan.
I think it says everything about the film. Now, is there anything you want to ask, Bartek? For Rachel and I, we're veterans of this movie. We've known this movie all our lives.
Since, I mean, obviously 2005 at least, right?
Our lives didn't begin before this film.
Then what happened in 1999?
Nothing.
Tommy Lee Jones was just sitting on a couch.
No, he
waiting.
existed. We didn't exist before he did this movie.
Ah.
Everything he did before that existed, but we didn't exist before the movie.
Ah. I did, though, so...
Nah, he didn't.
But I saw Scooby-Doo in the cinema, and that was before this.
Nah, everything's...
That's the one bit of evidence that I can give you, Ryan.
Fuck! But then you didn't exist after Scooby-Doo? You didn't exist for 4 years.
So I saw that, then I saw this.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw this yesterday.
Yes, but, like, you existed after this came out.
Oh, I see.
Like, once this got released in the universe, we all existed. Which is good, I think. I think it's good that it get... Ooh, close.
So, my question to you is, what is a vagina?
A vagina is a disease that one gets.
And why is he upset by it?
Because he can't get it.
Is he traumatized by a relative?
Because he can't get it.
Okay.
So he's trying not to make sure... He's trying to make sure no one else gets it. Is that right, Rachel? You're a vagina expert. Okay, here's a good question, Rachel. What's a Vegeta?
Isn't that a brand of, like, herb or something?
Are you thinking of the JJ from Grey's Anatomy?
I like how you answered with one thing that was completely off base. Did you mean that on purpose? And Rachel's like, I think you mean Vijay. And I said Vegeta, who's a character from Dragon Ball Z. No one wants to bring him up at all. Like, I just said, who's Vegeta? What's a Vegeta? You're like, I think it's a brand of herb or spice, isn't it? Isn't it like Vijay? I'm like, and I'm thinking, these people are going, there's one Dragon Ball Z fan listening out there going, these fucking idiots. He's clearly one of the best anti-hero characters of anime.
It's because in my pantry at home, there's
in my pantry at home, I open it up and there's just a portrait of Vegeta in the drawer, and I just stroke it.
There's a blue tin and it has Vegeta written on it, but I've never used it before, so I haven't really.
Wait, is it in the shape of Vegeta? Because he wears blue.
I'm pretty sure it had like a stereotypical like chef face on it.
No. Vegeta chef.
Yeah, Chef Vegeta.
I'm gonna cook you some Dragon Balls!
Yes, everyone knows Vegeta. He's the one that says it's over 900 times 10.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
In that exact inflection.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing I remember about Vegeta was he always used the cool eyepiece
Yeah.
I was obsessed
The
with those.
Scouter, was it?
Yeah, I was obsessed with those as a kid. I thought they were cool, like the random things that go over their eyes where they can read the energy levels of shit. I was like, man, I want those. I used to cut pieces of plastic and like get some tape and make my own version of that.
So this is the negotiation scene, Ryan.
Yeah, he used his hostage negotiation skills and $7,000 to make sure they wore clothes. Fun fact: I did a trivia for this movie.
What?
Yeah, I found a quiz. It wasn't
You
as
had more luck than me. Then I couldn't find anything.
I wrote Man of the House quiz, and one
That's
of
what
the
I did.
quizzes was answer. It was only one good one, and I thought you would like to hear it. It was. What did Roland Sharp do to get the girls to wear clothes? Was it A, make them cold, B, force them to wear clothes by putting them on them, C, nothing, or D, slap them until they put clothes on?
See, those are the kind of question and answers that I look for.
Now, this is a great scene here.
This is your scene that we were talking about.
I
before.
really miss Ali. Like, he's still around. I do believe he's still around. Yeah, pretty sure he's still around. I just really miss him appearing in things. Like, one of my favorite appearances of him is in the movie Fletch 2, where he plays a preacher. He plays a televangelist preacher, and it's really against type for him, because usually he plays these stern, authoritarian figures, and, like, not saying that his televangelist preacher isn't, but that's a lot more high-energy dancing, whoa, hey, wee, and that's not what I think of when I think of Ali Ermey. I don't think high energy in that regard. I think of high energy in the regards of he will yell right in your face.
Whereas his character in this movie, he looks like he's really looking forward to like going to meet his granddaughter or something.
Yeah, he looks forward to the days in which he could bring his spittoon into the office. You know what I mean by that, Rachel?
Yes.
I like this.
Yeah, I like
do
how
know what
he
a
got
spittoon
used to
is.
this. Now, guys, talking about quizzes,
Quizzes.
I got a quiz.
Quiz.
Now, I'm going to ask these questions, and I'm going to get your answers for it. So, this one also bases on gender. So, we're going to go with male, because I think it's just different to what it is. This quiz is, are you a true cheerleader?
Oh,
What?
so it's not related to the movie itself?
No, this is a cheerleader-related quiz.
Okay, cool.
What is your age? Is it under 18 years old, 18 to 24, 25 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, 51 to 60, over 60 years old?
Fun fact, guys, on the day this episode comes out, Tuesday, May the 30th, I turn 24.
Well, I guess we're going to go with 18. No, I don't want 25. Oh, shit. I guess we're 25 to 30. No, we're 25 to 30, Rachel. We're 25 to 30, Rachel. So, no, our gender is male. Sorry, Rachel, you're a man now. Okay.
Yeah, I 5.
Have you ever cheered as a cheerleader? Excuse me.
That was a pathetic
Excuse me, ladies. Have you ever cheered as a cheerleader in your life? Is it A? Yes, of course. B? I don't remember. C? Cheerleading? Ew. D? Wear a skirt? Gross. E? Nope. Or F? What? Which one is it, Bartek?
I mean, I have, but...
Okay, guys, so yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah. So, this one's a girls only. What kind of cheerleader are you?
So if we said male before, do we skip it? Or...
I don't know. No. Girls only. What kind of cheerleader are you? So, Rachel, this is to you. What kind of cheerleader are you?
You just called me a man.
You're a girl for now, okay? What kind of cheerleader... Excuse me. What kind of cheerleader are you? School? Competitive? What kind? Oh, that's a question. The answer's a question. I'm in the crowd. I'm in the band. I am in school and competitive cheerleading.
School and competitive.
Of course you are. That's my girl. So, boys only, Bartek. Why are you really a cheerleader? Is it girls? Duh. Or is it I can get a college scholarship? Or is it is so totally awesome? Or could it be I'm buff? Or boys / cheerleaders, ew. Or my favorite, I'm not a boy, or am I? Which one are you? He looked at his belly, that's his reply.
I'm buff, Ryan.
I thought you were looking at the hair on your belly, and you're like, I'm a girl, I guess.
Check the pee-pee?
So it's you're actually now no longer buff. You are buff. So guys, do you think cheerleading is a sport? Could it be yes, no one else does? No, anyone can cheer. Or could it be what? Or sports? I'd rather sit in my room and cut myself. or Bartek, could it be no way, Jose? Hey, do Spanish people cheer too? Haha, get it? That's actually the answer. You could choose. Or Rachel, could it be I don't want to answer this? That's all caps, by the way.
Ryan, I am torn. I am torn between no anyone can cheer and the Spanish one.
Rachel?
I vote Spanish.
Okay, so no way, Jose. Hey, do Spanish people cheer too? Haha, get it?
Yep.
What am I getting? I don't get it. Do Spanish people not cheer?
Is that the question? Or
No, I'm asking that. Like, it's like, the answer says, no way, Jose. Hey, do Spanish people cheer too? Haha, get it.
I think it's just meant to be a dumb blonde response.
Do they not? I don't...
Right,
guess.
I think it's just a dumb blonde response where it's like, well, of course they can.
Excuse
It's just
me,
cheering.
what is a toe touch?
What?
Is it A, a jump, B, a kick, C, a straddle on the floor, D, a stunt, E, toe touch? That sounds like it hurts. Or could it be F, question mark?
Kick.
Is it a kick, Rachel?
Is it?
But guys...
I imagine it's like when they kick it, like they have their arm out slightly Hitler-esque, and then
Hitler.
See,
they kick their leg up to like touch
Oh,
their toes.
yeah. See, I was thinking jump in the air and like tap
Well,
your
that's
toes
good,
or
but
something.
guys, I'm going to ask Rachel. She seems like a cheerleader expert on the physical moves.
And I'm not?
You'll get a question, don't worry.
Okay.
What is a bow and arrow? Could it be A, a jump, B, a kick, C, something to kill animals with, D, a stunt, E, I don't know, and of course F, question mark.
I'm gonna go with stunt, though I do know that obviously it is something that can kill animals as well.
Bartek.
See, what you just described kind of makes me think of a bow because it's like a convex curve.
But Bartek, did you like this quiz? A, yeah, AWESOME. That sounds awesome, by the way.
Yep.
B, I guess, or C, no! That's got an exclamation mark
It
on
has
it.
no question mark as an answer though.
So, Bartek?
I guess.
Oh,
You know?
poor Tommy Lee
Didn't hurt.
Jones's butt.
Last question. By the way, spoiler alert, this is not the last question. Question 11, last question. Do you think all cheerleaders have to be stick thin? A, yes, I am too.
Well, I'm buff, so.
B, no way, that's a stereotype. Or C, I am a stick. What is it to you?
I'm a stick.
But I'm buff.
You can be a buff stick, but
11.
It makes you
Oops.
more-
Excuse me.
it makes you more of a log.
Excuse me, I got another question here. Question 11. Oops, this is the last question. Haha. Do you like cheerleaders? A, yes, I am one. B, ew, no. Or C, they're stupid. Guys?
I'm torn between yes and they're stupid. I guess yes, I am one.
Well, I guess that's what you are. You're gross. No. And of course, last one. Last one. Will you check out my MySpace? It's Erica. My quote is Mifflin cheerleading. Is it A? Yes, of course. B? No. Or C? I don't have MySpace.
I don't have MySpace.
I technically do, but
We all technically do. And
my cat's still there.
that's a good point.
I'm submitting answers. Oh god, guys, we are 86%. You are kind of a cheerleader with 86%.
Well, it's Rachel and I fused together like
You
Dragon
used
Ball
to
Z.
cheer, or you do now. You used to cheer, or you do now, but it's not really your fave thing to do. You should try harder if you want to really succeed. Keep on trying, hun. Don't give up.
I mean, that first statement was accurate. I've cheered at like stuff before, not really as a cheerleader, but
You're not a leader of men.
but then there's that whole thing of like they assume I want to be one.
Well, you're doing a quiz.
I'm a buff stick. Leave me alone.
So here we have an amazing sequence in which our hero of the movie, Percy
Percy.
Stevens, has to do a dance.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was really unfair against him. He had to verse a whole group of people. He was just, I mean,
And he
he's the
hasn't done it
size of all of them combined, but
He
like
hasn't
that's
done
unfair.
it for a while either.
He went to prison, man. He's been anally raped. He can't do the moves as well as he used to.
Anally violated that cow earlier.
Yeah, that cow was not asking to. He didn't even get lubed up. He didn't even
And
use
also,
a hand lotion.
He didn't even, like...
He didn't even use the glove.
it
You're
was-
right.
If it was me in that situation, put the phone in the glove, because that way you can easily get it back.
What about just turning the phone off?
Yeah, or just throwing it in one of the various barrels that were around.
And then didn't he give Tommy Lee Jones attitude for putting his hand in the arse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He was
it's
just
different
like,
because.
What?
oh, that
hippopotamus
poor cow.
script.
And he didn't use a glove. You can't tell though because his hands look like shit anyway. Now, Bartek,
Quick
who is
change.
your favorite character in this movie? Was it Percy Stevens? Was it Jimbo? Or was it Tommy?
I think it's kind of hard to pick between.
Especially during this scene here. I mean,
Yeah, asking me while he's wearing Polish color, yeah,
he's wearing
colours.
Polish kind of. He is.
Well, it's because white's on
White.
top of red, so you know.
Well, he's got white on top of red.
Yeah, a bit, but the red's still the highest part because of the sleeve.
Oh, black's the highest part.
not the
because of
sleeves. What
head.
are the collars?
Rachel, like that.
I'm honestly torn between him.
His
simply
clothes aren't
because
torn.
he's the comic relief character, and it's funny, and the scene's funny.
Is he
And-
supposed to be comedy?
Oh,
I thought he was deadly serious about praising God.
Oh no, I'm serious about
I
that.
thought
but
he was our religious
I'm saying
conscience.
his personality, Ryan. I'm torn between him because he's, very entertaining, as is his last name, Mr. the Entertainer, and our main
Oh, I
character.
thought you meant Stevens. I'm like, that's not a funny name.
Yeah. And our main character, because as we've said, he does a really good job carrying the movie. It's honestly kind of torn between those two.
What about you, Rachel? Fave?
I don't know. It's
Remember, your boyfriend's listening.
I'm listening.
yeah, but
Somewhere.
he's already confessed his love to Tommy Lee Jones.
My
in this
favorite characters
episode.
are Ermey.
Yeah, like I know that he's not your favorite, but you're in love with Tommy Lee Jones.
Who isn't? I mean, who isn't?
Oh, Ryan, I set you up. You're meant to say one of the cheerleaders because they're really hot and you want to fuck them.
Of
It'd be funny because
course.
it's like your girlfriend's listening, but we didn't warn you.
Well, I
And it's gonna
was
be
actually
sexist.
going to pick one of the cheerleaders.
Which cheerleader
Oh,
is your
really?
favorite? That's a good question.
I like the pre-med one.
The blonde one? Which blonde one?
The blonde one that's not in love with Tommy Lee Jones.
I like the Latina slut.
The one who pretends to be pregnant later.
Yeah. The
That was
one
funny.
who wears a headscarf and pretends to be pregnant later. Pretends in quotation marks.
Pretends to be heavily pregnant.
I think my favorite cheerleader is, of course, Tommy Lee Jones. He cheers and he leads.
Of the
Oh, I do also like the head cheerleading coach.
We already talked about her.
Yeah. But I just wanted to bring up that. I
She
like her
doesn't
too.
cheerlead. She's no cheerleader. Though.
No, but she's the leader of the cheerleading team.
She's a cheerleader leader.
Are you talking about the captain?
Yeah.
No,
the one we were talking about before who's like, show me your happy face. This
Oh,
is my
her!
happy
Oh, yeah, she was
face."
funny. I think of the 5 cheerleaders, I like the one that I called the southern one, the one that likes full
Death
metal
Proof,
jacket.
yeah.
Yeah, Death
I like
Proof
her
went to GB.
because she feels like she's the different one of the group. Like she actually kind of has a sort of.
Excuse me, one of them studying biological medicine.
No, but what I'm saying is she has this kind of kinship with Tommy Lee Jones, where she almost says things that he can relate to. that they
I
can
really
relate
wanted the
to
movie
each
to
other.
end with her becoming his new partner,
Yeah, I feel
where
like
he's
of-
like standing back to back with her, and she's still wearing she's still got a pom pom in one hand, but it's got a pistol in it.
It almost feels like she would fit in better hanging out with him than with them.
Yeah,
Also, I like the scene where they talk about their favorite movies. He's like, "Mine's The Sound of Music."
yeah, of course, because it's everyone's favorite movie.
Nazis.
Well, he's against Nazis in this case. Tommy Lee Jones is a hero. He was right there earlier with a man wearing Polish colours. So.
How do you solve a problem like cheerleaders?
So, Rachel, is the advice that she gives him in this scene accurate? Is it you go with the pads with wings every time?
In general, it's a safer option because it makes the pad more secure.
But why are there other pads then?
Because some women don't like that sensation because it makes them a bit bulkier.
But if it's the one you go with every time, shouldn't you?
Well, I don't go
shouldn't
with
it
that every time.
Does
But
wings?
this woman says every time.
Does wings just mean that the pad's wider?
Yeah.
No, well, kind of.
It means they fly when you get blood
Hold
on
on,
them.
let's let Rachel say
No,
it. Right?
so it has like the pad shape, and then it'll have the wings on the side, and they have like they kind of tabs so that you wrap it around the bottom of the underwear so that it's attached all
To
the
your
way
underwear.
around
Okay.
instead of just sticking on the inside. It's
So why wouldn't every
secure.
girl want those?
because
Is it because when you get upskirted, you see the tabs, the pad's wings, and that's gross?
that may be a concern since we do see the crotch area of one of their underwear
for all the
when
girls
they're
that
getting
care
on the
about
bus.
upskirts.
Just one. No, we see their crotch areas a lot in this movie. Trust me, I was looking. So.
No, but like I mean, particularly when one of them's getting on the bus.
Oh, they have a
we-
shot
we see,
dedicated
like,
to it. Yeah.
We see everything.
Yeah. So, so, Bartek, is this how you pick up chicks? You go to the tampon women's beauty products aisle, and they start hitting on you, and you reject them, and then wait, before you answer that, can you answer this for me?
Okay.
He hands her a shopping bag.
Yeah, that confused me.
Thank you. Did you think that he gave her a bunch of pads? I thought, is he like, here, have pads, you've been a good girl?
I have no idea, Ryan.
I assumed that she forgot her keys and a bag.
But
with
he
her
just said,
shopping.
you left your keys on the counter, and then he hands her a bag. He didn't say, you left your shopping and your keys on the counter. He just like, here.
There must be a deleted scene that's like 2 seconds long that would
I
explain
feel like
it.
there are
No, I
quite
think-
a few deleted scenes.
Excuse
that
me,
explain things.
death of the author here. We've got the feature-length film right in front of us. I'm saying he handed her pads.
I mean, what else did
This-
he buy, Ryan?
This post-menopause woman, pads.
It's not guaranteed that she's postmenopause.
All right.
What age is like 50s or something?
It can
Late
be-
40s to 50s onwards.
Yeah.
Because I whenever I think of menopause, I think of the first place I heard it, that 70s show.
Men,
Kitty.
pause.
So
'Cause
you asked
men
me
pull-
how I pick up chicks, Ryan.
Yeah, do you pick him up like this?
Well, what I do is, Ryan, I kind of tilt my body back a little bit, activate my core muscles. I only squat, I don't bend forward, and then I use both arms, like grasp them and then rise.
Of course.
That's
Do
how
you
I
remember
pick up.
that time that I was in Richmond and that Indian guy tried to pick me up in a grocery store?
Physically pick
Like
you up?
literally, like
No.
I said,
No.
Tried to hit on you?
Yeah, he was like, oh,
he was hitting you.
no, he was just like, oh, you're very, very pretty.
Aw.
Can I talk to you? And I was
Aww.
like, I was like,
Maybe you just
I'm
wanted to learn English.
No,
Stop being
no.
such a racist, Rachel. Just because you see some weird foreign guy hit on you doesn't mean that he wants you sexually. Maybe he wants English lessons. Maybe he wants to learn about the Australian culture.
while staring at my boobs.
Bartek stares at girls' boobs, but he just wants to know how to speak Polish a bit better. Too bad they don't speak Polish.
I got them. I think that's pesky in Polish. I might be wrong.
or boobs.
Yeah, I always get the words mixed up.
No, you're just confusing what they say you are to them. A pesky, a pesky peeping Tom. So she dyes her hair pink. We never see that again. Like, Rachel, you're a girl who's dyed their hair.
There's a hint of it. Like, she has a few pink streaks at
Yeah.
the end of the film. So, like, she hasn't fully gotten rid of it. Even
But she does an expert job overnight. Like, this scene, he comes back and her hair is blonde again.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
No.
Are you sure?
Well, you can do it.
Wait, are you a cheerleader? Do you know if
We're-
cheerleaders have the ability?
Were we like
I don't
83%
know.
or something?
I don't know if these cheerleaders have special.
He's the
hair
Bartek of the
powers,
movie, by the way, yeah.
But
What?
You're hitting on them. He's hitting on them like the way you are, just squatting, lifting
No,
up.
that's picking up, Ryan, not hitting.
Oh, yeah. So, you can't just undye your hair straight away?
no particular.
You can't just dye it from pink to blonde like that without killing it?
You would probably kill it. There is a particular product that does remove hair dye that's like freshly put in, but I don't know if that would have been available in
2005? It was 2005. I'm sure hair dye technology was available in 2005.
But it's 2005 Texas. They took.
Oh, well, that explains it.
They're Southern, Ryan. They just want to shoot guns.
And fuck! Because she just wants to get with Antonio, who's her real life husband, by the way.
Yeah. Well, no. The thing is that her real life husband is named Antonio.
Yeah, that is her real life husband. We don't see Antonio in the film. She's talking about Antonio. It's her real life husband.
Yeah, she doesn't get to have phone sex with him because they're doing weird night shoots.
Yeah, like, oh man,
like you
Tommy,
said-
I can't have phone sex with Antonio while
Like
you
you said,
watch.
Ryan, anyone of any age can watch this film.
Here's a fun fact. She's the brunette you were talking about that wants to tickle him as well. So,
I think so, yeah.
yeah, so here's the thing. Antonio, I can't have phone sex. Tommy Lee needs to be tickled. And Antonio's like, I understand, for I am Antonio Banderas. Yeah?
Interesting. Choice.
I like how glittery his gun is.
So, Ryan, jumping back a bit, what percentage cheerleader are you?
Oh, well, I was a 90%.
Ooh.
I'm pretty good.
What was the comment?
It was the exact same comment.
Oh, you were just higher than us.
You just have to be 100% to be pure.
I think you have to be 95 up.
Well, we did better on this quiz than the one last week.
Shit, dog, but can you get a big honking bullet? I mean, it's not that big of a bullet, is it? I'm not a bullet expert.
It looks actually kind of wide.
Yeah.
Short and stout. I think that is a fairly big bullet.
Personal preference.
You're a gun expert. You've played Metal Gear Solid 2.
I've shot real guns at a shooting range in Poland a few times.
You fucking monster. Why?
Bang, bang.
What did you shoot?
Mostly
People.
Glocks.
Oh, no, I meant
But I've
at. What did you
Oh,
shoot
like
at?
targets.
What were the targets shaped like?
They were just paper. They had.
The
I don't
normal...
think
they
they
weren't
were-
shaped like people?
I think I might. Yeah, I've shot some that had,
He
like,
shot people!
Most of them were just, like dartboard target looking things.
I knew Bartek was born to kill.
It's like a few years ago we were in a show called Noir, which we've mentioned a few times on the show in earlier
Noir,
episodes.
yeah.
And like there were a bunch of scenes where different characters would shoot a gun. And they would always do it like the one-handed, banging
Yeah.
thing. I would always do it like two-handed, like the exact way that I held it in
Yeah, because you're
Poland.
afraid that acting was just too difficult. You had to replicate the actual process.
Well, that's why I wanted to make it look a bit more realistic and like I use recoil.
And you know that one Polish person, your mum sitting in the audience, was like, good boy Bartek, he holds
she-
gun perfect.
She's never. Oh, my grandmother saw it too, Ryan.
Oh, good. Sorry. The two women in your life sat there and went, good boy Bartek. And your grandmother leaned over and went, very good boy Bartek. He holds it with two hands.
And my brother, who also has shotguns, was like,
He was just sitting there going, why am I here? Why am I here? I don't want to be here. Ryan's in the show, so I guess that's okay. But like, other than that,
Ryan with his great dialogue.
Ryan, the amazing actor. I mean, he pretends so much. Not in this audio commentary, of course. I really do love this movie. This movie is over 10 years old.
Yeah, it's 12 now.
It's old enough to have its own cheerleaders. When are you old enough to be a cheerleader?
I've seen child cheerleaders before.
Where?
Wait, does a movie count?
Sure.
I think in Big Mama House 2 there were
Oh,
child
of course.
cheerleaders.
Martin Lawrence classic. That should have had Cedric the... Was Cedric the Entertainer in that?
I think he was in the first one. which
Oh, I
haven't
don't
seen.
know. I think he's in all of them.
I don't know. I've only seen the second one.
Isn't he in all of them as his brother? No.
I don't know, dude. I've only seen the second one. It was on a plane a long
You've
time
only
ago.
seen the second one?
Yeah, I haven't seen
You're
the Paul Giamatti
kidding
one.
me. Paul Giamatti's in the first one.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen it.
As the FBI or CIA or whatever.
The whole FBI?
Paul Giamatti can represent an organization. I'm the FBI! Yeah! And the president's like, of course you are, sir. I bow down to you.
Of course you are, Mr. Agency.
Mr. Giamatti.
Mr. Gigi.
You know why I'm called Giamatti? It stands for Federal Bureau of Investigation. Yeah!
No, it's Federal Bartek of India.
No, it's Federal Bureau of Giamatti. But G is removed with Amati.
Oh, I see.
So,
American
guys,
cheerleader.
why do you think this movie didn't succeed as well as it could have?
You
It
know
had
what?
everything going for it.
There was a part earlier in the film that I saw what they were going for, but I wasn't really into it. It was around the time in our episode where I said, "Oh, I like this song." It's not related to that. I was just, I Fought the Law. I like that song. But during that sequence,
They did the split screen.
they did the split screen.
So it was the Hulk's fault for this reason for failing. I
don't know.
knew it. Ang Lee!
I saw what they were doing and it was clever, like split screen, you can see two things going on at the same time. But I always find that kind of thing a little overwhelming. Like, we had it in The Green Hornet, which that one,
Ooh,
kept...
it was tasty, though.
Yeah, that one was tasty, but it felt like, we even commented in the episode, we kind of needed to watch that scene multiple times just so we can get the full extent of it. Definitely only 2 screens made it a lot more bearable.
Oh, yeah.
But, ever since I watched Back to the Future Part 2, we're in the future and you can watch, 1 million channels at the same time.
We're in that future now, but that's the past.
Yeah, 2 years. That was 2 years ago, Ryan.
Or was it last year?
It was 2015. But yeah, I always just found the idea of watching multiple screens overwhelming. If it's security footage and you have a bunch of screens, that I can understand because you're looking for the oddity. But when you're actually watching things going on in a bunch of different screens, I always find that kind of, not manageable. But I was glad that was only in that part of the film. But maybe there were people like me, Ryan, who felt that way too and just turned off the film there.
Those lazy people
who just would not sit for a few minutes longer to realize, hey, that doesn't happen anywhere else in the
Obviously,
rest of
this
the
show was spoofing 24,
That's
the TV
what I thought.
show.
I've never seen it, but I knew that they do that there.
They do it there. And this movie takes place in 24 hours. Who would have known? If I told you that, would you believe me?
No.
No, because there's so many night scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, this one,
is this the same night where they bought the Tampax and said, see you tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When he bought those, it was actually 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It was just solar eclipse.
Oh, it was day for night.
Yeah. At night he turns into a werewolf, yeah? So that's why he's going to have mad werewolf sex with her.
Her paper is about the imagery of light and darkness in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, there you go. See, Rachel did her homework. Rachel, you're a teacher. Mm-hmm. As well as Bartek. You're both going to be teachers.
I just finished my last placement.
So you're officially a teacher now.
Well, no.
All right, Bartek the teacher and Rachel the teacher. You both teach
I am officially
separate
a teacher.
things.
Rachel's registered. I still need to do a bit more for my
Yeah,
course.
Bartek is going to be registered in some kind of catalogue of people to look out for. So
You'll be given
Careful, he'll teach you shit about mine.
You'll be
careful.
given a number.
He'll touch you. So
To adjust your pose so it looks better for acting.
yeah. Rachel, is she a good teacher?
Well, we don't get to see much
Is
of her
she
teaching.
a good teacher from what you saw?
Yeah.
Are you better than her though? Could you do a better job than this woman?
In her particular field, I don't think so, because I think
She's
We
written the
get-
thesis.
we
You haven't done that.
No.
So
we
you're a
get
bit shit.
But is that teaching, Ryan?
She's
Ooh.
an academic teacher rather than a teacher. So her expertise is very different.
Oh, fair enough. Bartek,
Yeah?
do you think you could be a better teacher than her?
Fucking I'll blow her out of the water, Ryan. I'll own her ass.
And that's not sexism, that's slavery. He's going to literally enslave her.
But only her ass, Ryan.
Well, that's where the poo comes from, so you need that.
For fertilizer.
Yeah, exactly. Rachel...
Because you can't use the cow for that.
No, because he's
Cows
too
are
busy with
sacred,
Cedric's
Rachel.
hand up his butt.
And no, Tommy Lee Jones's.
No, Cedric at this
Cedric
point.
just
Whose
sticks a
hand, whose
phone in
butt?
there.
No, I've already established that Cedric the Entertainer is actually white. He's
Oh.
just stuck himself inside
He's covered
the
in
cow.
poo-poo, which is the colour of black people. I get it, Ryan. Sure. Thanks, Ryan. That's what Ryan said, everyone.
Bartek, you managed to go a while without being so racist on the show. I know that I'm very behind in listening to
you're
the episodes.
racist.
I'm the one saying it.
Bartek the
I was
racist.
just getting rid of the
Classic,
subtext.
classic Bartek the racist.
Yeah,
He's such a monster.
yeah.
Innocent I. Poor innocent little me.
Innocent Ryan, who
I was just walking along and then Bartek
You were not affected by growing up in this town in Australia.
Bartek was so racist just then. It's so it's so staggering. How much racial
Need a break,
insensitive.
Ryan. I see some tears coming up.
Oh, he's
I
just.
see some tears.
We've made so much progress, and Bartek's just taking it away. It's been so many episodes since a racial incident like this, and he's just snatched it from us. I'm sorry, listeners, that Bartek's such a supreme racist.
It'll be okay.
I promise that I will do my best to be a better example between the two of us. That's why I'm
try.
so shocked to think that Bartek thought that Cedric was a white person to begin with. I'm clearly saying he's Asian. And the mixture of yellow on brownish black made Cedric the Entertainer, okay?
Objections, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Oh shit! I can't say my objection where I say that when you cover something in poo, like skin, it doesn't actually mix the colors; it just covers it. I can't say that, so I can't defend myself.
Clearly you don't know Asians.
How am I gonna get that point that will completely defend my
Excuse
points?
me. You don't know Asians very well. This skin, you can use that as paint. You
Right,
just get a brush.
I have 2 Asian friends. Beat that.
Excuse me, Ryan. I'm Asian Polish. I know how to speak both Age and Pole. It's called Age Pole
Age Pole.
or Polasian.
Polasian. That
Oh
sounds...
yes, I speak Polynesian.
What?
I speak Polynesian.
No, Polasian.
No, dear Vishnu, get it right. Stop being such a racist, Rachel.
Well, Indian culture has a lot of gods, Ryan. Why just that one?
Well, she's just choosing the one god. I'm saying Vishnu's like the main one.
Yeah, but I'm not talking.
What?
I didn't
He's the
say-
main god of the gods.
Just because I said
You know how
gods doesn't
Zeus
mean that
is
it's
the
a
main god
Christian
of Greek gods?
So one at a time.
You know
like,
how Zeus is the main one of the Greek gods, like the
Yeah.
god
The
of gods?
head of the pantheon.
Isn't Vishnu the head of the pantheon?
I don't think so.
Well, why are they the one mentioned all the time, huh?
Because I think that's because it's
In-
iconic.
I don't-
like it's the imagery of the multiple arms that people associate with Indian culture rather than it being the most significant figure.
I think it's
within
one of
their
those.
pantheon.
I think it's one of those cultures that has a god for a lot of things.
Yeah, but the Greeks have that
Isn't
too.
the main one called like Brahman or something?
Ramadan.
No, Brahman.
That's Muslim.
No, Brahman.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm a Scientologist anyway, so
Oh, Xenu.
But
No.
Oh,
Tom
sorry.
Cruise, you.
Oh, he's the main one.
He's an alien. We
trying to
found him in
educate
Area 51 and decided to plague you with him in Hollywood.
I'm not curious about this Hindu thing. Like, who is there a main? I think it's. Brahman.
I think it's Apu.
Oh,
he's the main guy.
Nahasafima Petalon.
No, I'm
Is
talking
she
about a
wearing
different
a
Apu.
shirt with algebra written on it?
Of course, because she likes algebra. See? She's wearing a shirt that's got a bra that's made of algae.
Algebra.
You got it. Algebra. So, was his plan to spend weeks upon months listening to her phone on the off chance that she will have a random phone call encounter?
I think he just wants to do anything he can to find Tommy Lee Jones. Roland Sharp.
Get it? His name's Sharp because he is.
He's a sharp one.
So, do you like how he gave them rules about clothes and they never followed them?
They did.
No.
So it was cover more of the thigh, the cleavage, but they can show their belly button.
He made
Yeah,
it.
but it
You
was
can
an
show
inch.
this much, and they show more than that.
No, they're within the 3 inches.
In this shot here, they're mostly covering the chest.
Look at her though.
She isn't.
Oh, her boobs are all over the place.
Miss Green singlet.
I was talking about the ones in the red shirt with her short shorts that are basically underwear. They don't listen to him. His rules are set, and they still don't abide by because Death Proof Girl was always meeting his rules.
Yeah.
Like, she was the one who would not wear the slutty clothes as much. Like, not saying she didn't wear short things, but she was the one that, during that sequence in which he was like, do this, like, you guys wearing not enough, she was wearing a full-length dress. Like,
Also, they
what?
they really fought for the naval thing.
they mentioned Cameron Diaz, which is a lifelong friend of the show as a cheerleader. Did you know all these people were cheerleaders?
No, I didn't.
You knew George Bush was a cheerleader, yeah?
I can believe it.
I knew George, he was. Are you a cheerleader?
I thought you said I knew George Newman. I was like, what?
I knew George Newman. He was a good friend of mine.
In the fourth quarter.
He what?
Sorry, I did the bad thing of reading the subtitles.
You fuck! Now we have to go back to the racist conversation and work our way back up to where we were. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah.
I was saying it's called underappreciated.
Aboriginals, that's where I've got a problem now. Where does the original come from, Rachel? I'm not hearing an answer.
I refuse to participate in this conversation.
Such a racist, Rachel. You know, poor me, I'm just sitting here innocently trying to ask the big questions.
Here's a teaching thing, Ryan.
I don't want to be taught.
In our course, there's a lot of emphasis of incorporating Aboriginal culture into lessons.
Oh, cool. Do you have to do that?
They make it sound like you really need to,
But you don't do
But
it.
in schools, it doesn't really happen that often.
Just like
It never happens in reality.
pedagogy isn't a word that's used in schools unless it's a PD,
Yeah.
and even then, people get annoyed by it.
So, whoa. We didn't even mention Wiccans. Hexes are happening now in this movie. I didn't know this movie was a part of the dark arts.
Well, did you read the IMDb trivia, Ryan?
I did read that. Could you explain it?
This is the University of Texas, was it?
Yeah. No. Actually, it's the University of Washington. I just wanted to clarify.
That's why
Actually?
he has Texas.
Yeah, and they're
reputation.
in Texas. Yeah.
Well, the University of the Polished Colours that doesn't quite resemble the Polish flag here. Apparently, it was a tradition that before certain games you would have this kind of ceremony. But apparently,
Not anymore.
it went out of control at one point, I think.
Did they actually hex someone? Is that what killed JFK?
So now it's not an official thing that the university condones, but they let them do it still, like on their own terms. They let them do it on their own terms.
It's like I don't officially allow you to. I officially don't allow you to be racist, but I let you do it.
See, that means you're the bad guy, Ryan.
No, it means I'm just enabling you.
Which is kind of bad, right?
No, enablers are good.
It's the opposite of disable. What are you trying to say about disabled people, Ryan?
I'm saying leave them alone. If they're a fan of the podcast, then they can promote us. You can promote us if you want. Anyone, you don't have to be disabled to promote us. You could be abled or not. Spin Polish Presents, where we talk about the big issues. I'm not saying that you have to be someone who sells the big issue to sell the show. You can read it if you want. I don't know. We should probably put an ad in the big issue about our show, I reckon.
So that Trump fella.
Rachel,
Yes, Brian.
how are you?
You call him Ryan?
Yeah, I'm frying up this show like a sweet baguette. And also, fuck the French. Sorry if you're a French listener, but fuck off.
I think Tommy Lee Jones's candle got a little longer in that shot.
It's because he got a new candle. Because his
No.
old one got blown out and they handed him a new
It
one.
got relit.
Yeah. Sorry. They fondled the balls of
it
his
got-
candle.
Oh, and it got erected.
If it
It
looks
erected.
longer, it's either a goof or
No,
the
no,
bit of aluminium got moved down.
Yeah, that's
or
it.
Up so that
Yeah.
Hold on.
it changes the
This is an
proportions.
American film, so we have to say aluminum.
Yeah, the bit of foreskin got moved down.
Why?
When-
Why twice? Twice you've had to bring up foreskin.
I'll make it thrice if you're
Well,
good.
that was
guy.
about a gun. This is about a candle.
Yeah, there's a completely different foreskin, Rachel.
I don't care.
Hey, look, he's grabbing out his foreskin and cut her foreskin off.
Oh, that was circumcision of the belt, you mean?
Yeah, it's an old Jewish
And then-
tradition.
and then just
You have to
dispose.
circumcise the belt.
It's also an American tradition, right?
Oh, well, don't you know? Tommy Lee Jones is not actually his real name. It's Tom Roll Herschel
Yeah, it was just
Jones.
Yeah.
I think because I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, we haven't done anti-Semitism in a while, so I think we have to bring that back.
I wanted to bring up when the candle got blown out. They kind of made a joke out of that, like, oh, the candle got blown out, they had to relight it. I think they could have made like a team spirit thing about that. Like, oh, if your candle gets blown out, your teammates will be able to relight it.
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere else. I thought when your candle got blown out, he would have just yelled, "Oh, blow me!" And he would have walked off stage, and they're like, "Blow him! Blow him! Blow him!"
See, you're making it funny, Ryan, but I was being serious.
I'm being dead serious.
I'm being serious.
I'm being even more
I'm being
serious. Don't you like her mobile phone? Yeah, it's great. It's green.
Yeah. it's
Did you
kinda
guys
like
have a mobile phone in 2005? Or your family?
I think I Yeah, I think I had one for a little while. Then I didn't have one again until like 2010.
I think we did. Our family. I know my sister. Fun fact: my sister got a mobile phone for her 18th. Her friends bought her a mobile phone, and our auntie also bought her a mobile phone. It was the same mobile phone. So, my parents just said to the auntie, "Oh no, sorry, we maybe get her another gift," because her friends got her a mobile phone, and our auntie got very upset by that. She was like, "What? My phone's better." It's the exact same phone.
I remember when I turned, I think, 7 years old, 2 different people gave me a VHS copy of We're Back, a Dinosaur Story.
What? Which one's that? Which one is that? Which one's that?
It's the one where the dinosaurs like become
Humans?
not humans, but they can be able to speak English, and they go back in time, and Lisa Simpson's voice actress plays a little girl.
Ah, okay. Is that the classic dinosaur one from our childhood? Is that the classic one?
So the one where the dinosaurs they sing. Was it John Goodman that played the main dinosaur?
Shit.
I don't know if it was him, but there was like a "Turn Back the Clock" song in it.
Oh, that classic.
In a parade, and everyone thought they were inflatable dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. This is
but they were
different.
actually
I'm
real.
thinking of
This
Land
is
Before...
different.
No, not Land Before Time. I'm thinking Land Before Time. That's our classic dinosaur cartoon.
And there's like I think there were weird aliens in it that made them.
Does
like,
this
talk
movie
English.
have weird aliens?
Man of the House?
Yeah.
Are they the men of the house?
No, they're just...
Wait, are you now being racist against the Mexicans?
I'm not being racist. They're not aliens. They are law-abiding terrorists in our Trump society. Well,
This is pre-Trump.
I'm gonna build a wall.
Pre-Trump.
Yeah, this is George Bush's second term, like 1 year in.
Oh yeah, 9/11 already happened, so the Muslims are still the ones
4 years after
at large.
9/11.
Rachel, stop curling up in a ball in the chair and sighing. Come
I'm not
on.
doing it loud enough for the mic, so it's fine.
Was it
Fine.
Was Osama Muslim? Was that the thing?
Who?
Osama bin Laden.
Yes,
That's right. Yeah.
he was working on the behalf of Islam, even though he wasn't. Was Osama? No, Osama was actually, oddly enough, a Dutch farmer who just really wanted them to know about Holland's wrath. So,
Holland has gone.
feel
down
my
there.
clogs.
Holland used to be a very powerful country.
Yeah, every country used to be a powerful country, except for Sweden.
But Holland had an empire.
Hey, Sweden.
Sweden did have a bit of an empire.
Sweden tried to
as well.
invade Poland once.
Yeah.
And you hear the word tried?
Yeah, I mean, but isn't that kind of a
not
thing
everybody
that you do
thinks
get power?
Oh, have we... Australia's never been a powerful country, though. Not once.
No, we've
Not in our entire existence.
Hey, Ryan,
We're
here's a
being
callback.
subjugated.
Don't touch my keys.
What the fuck? No, I guess the strongest we've ever been was we owned Papua New Guinea for a bit.
Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We
Oh,
were-
yeah.
We were given it after the First World War.
Well, I mean, we'll give it. Yeah. So I guess that's our
We also
our strength.
Well,
Australia,
we
you're
currently-
given things if you're good boy.
we currently
Good boy, Australia.
You
can,
helped England.
good boy,
We don't
Australia.
wanna
You
take
can
care
have
of
Papua New
this.
Guinea.
we currently
Just
own
half of it.
we currently own Tasmania.
Yeah. Well, ask the Tasmanians about that, and they would say,
Hey, fuck you non-mainlanders.
no, they would. You can't understand them, for they live underwater. They're gill people. Yeah, that's right. I am being racist against Tasmanians.
Isn't Chopper Reed from here?
No, he lives in Tasmania.
Oh,
He's dead now, so
Well, he
he's technically any way you want him to be.
okay.
He's part of the
Oh, here we go. So this is the climactic scene. Bartek, were you on the edge of your seat? Did you think he was going to shoot her?
Please call me Hobartek.
Oh, Bartek.
Hobartek,
Oh, Bartek.
capital of Tasmania.
Whoa, were you on the edge of your seat thinking that she was actually having a baby? Did you think, hey, they actually got her pregnant during this day?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad.
some girl-on-girl pregnancy.
Well, no, Tommy Lee Jones was in the house. He's the man of the house.
Oh, was he secretly in on this plan but acted like he wasn't?
You know when they dyed his hair? Or they're going to dye his hair, and he's like, no.
Actually,
There's
right,
a
it's-
cut, there's a scene that you...
When they
Yeah,
killed his hair.
what you didn't notice was they were extracting semen from his penis.
Oh, men.
Yes, some men.
Some men in black.
They were black. It's weird that Tommy Lee Jones's semen is pure tar black. Yeah. But they injected it into this girl, and, you know, with his pure tar black cum, it makes you instant pregnant, like a day or two. Like 9 months. And you know what hatches?
See, that explains...
And you know what hatches inside of you? It's like a giant Tommy Lee Jones spider creature.
Wait, hatch... Oh, you mean like the egg inside?
Yeah,
the
like
woman?
that's an egg inside of her
yeah.
growing, and it hatches and it crawls out of vagina.
What happened-
Her vagina.
Wait, so
her vagina. It crawls out of her vagina, spindly spider legs first. It still has Tommy Lee Jones's face on it, but it's like
and then
space black.
And then when it comes out, the doctor puts on his scouter, says, "Oh yeah, it's about almost 9,000."
Yeah, that's almost 9,000. And then you try and throw a Pokeball at it and you say wrong anime.
Yeah.
So,
And then a little boy with glasses tries to solve the murder and then realizes there's no murder.
and then attorneys come in and they're like, we're a video game, but we'll still go into the Japanese market.
Yep. And then Mega Man shoots something.
Okay, no, you're going too far with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
It's more
still
crash-
video game. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go back off the video game. You have to go to the music scene.
Oh,
now.
and then they find a notebook on the ground where if they write people's names in it, they die.
Ah, Death Note,
Yeah.
which is not death proof. Huh? Get it? So I like the reveal of this car. It was like, I got a new car, and then it was like, whoa! It was like,
Yeah, it's
okay,
a very,
I guess.
very kind of mushy yellow, like pale
Mushy.
yellow. Very pale, mushy yellow.
It's pea in the snow yellow.
It's not dirty.
Well, it's kind of like mashed potato.
Yeah, it's mashed potato yellow. Rachel, would you agree with that? Mashed potato yellow?
No, your mashed potatoes shouldn't be yellow.
No,
What?
they can be. Have you not had mashed potatoes? They're kind
Yeah,
of
but
yellowy.
If
They're
you,
golden.
If you have mashed potatoes that are yellow, you're using potatoes that aren't very good, or you have way too much butter in your
No. You don't have enough butter.
No.
Rachel, I'm a
Mashed
fan
potatoes should
of
be
mashed potatoes, and
creamy.
when you make them, you don't put enough butter in.
How
Spoiler
dare you.
alert.
Don't
Rachel doesn't use enough butter.
Ryan versus Rachel, fight!
Winner, butter.
I will not participate in this narrative.
Rachel, this is called spit and polish. You have to be the and in this group, which means joining in.
Does that mean that you're spitting on Rachel?
No, you're polishing her,
Oh, okay, but...
and I'm spitting on you
Oh,
because you're polish.
and the fact
I
that she's
spit.
around means that we can do two things at the same time?
Can't we do 3?
What's anding? Is anding a verb?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's more of an adjective.
It's a very and thing you said, Ryan.
And Rand.
Ayn Rand.
No. And.
And Rand.
That's their brother.
Are we gonna win an award for this, like, impromptu, like...
You know, they're going to
discussion?
say many years from now, this was the quintessential moment. It was
The mashed potato yellow car.
the moment where Rachel refused to be a part of the podcast was when the show really took off. Because when you're the guest refusing to actually participate, it's always fun for the hosts. So they really have to pull the staff out their ass.
You've been doing a fine job without me.
Excuse me, Rachel. You're my girlfriend of 5 years. Congratulations, me. Thanks. No worries. Thanks. I am a hero. 5 years of this. 5 years of me being like, this potato. Honestly, Bartek. Sometimes I'll say something like, nice weather today, and no, like, oh, it was a nice weather today, and Rachel honestly turned around and went, tad humid though. And I'm like, that really impacted on me. Like, it's like, and not only that, I'll be like, nice weather today. I went, and it'll be like, tad humid though. Like, I'm like, okay, yes, okay, Rachel. So I went out though, and I thought it was nice, but it was humid though, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, Rachel. You got me there.
Have you ever told Rachel, like, oh, it's a bit humid today? What would she
No,
say?
it was actually a nice day, Ryan.
Oh. Well,
I thought it was a bit
humid
humid.
mean
Well,
it's
it was
bad?
nicer. No, humid mean it was like a bit off-putting.
Oh, I like humid.
Oh, you're a freak. I think you can agree on that, Rachel. You don't like the humidity. Bartek's a freak, isn't he?
I want humidity, please.
Bartek's a freak for many reasons, but I don't think that that's at the top of the list.
Give me humidity.
Oh, no.
Give me humidity. Give
Sorry,
me.
I just hearing Rachel say Bartek's a freak, and then it just kind of like hits me hard. Like, oh, I've never heard her say that before.
Oh, really? I'll tell you. Bartek's
I
a
mean,
freak.
Earlier, I pointed.
Spoiler alert, Bartek's a freak.
Earlier in the movie, I pointed
Rachel's
out the
cringing
fact
in her seat looking at him.
That's not why I'm cringing.
I'm actually kind of worried. Like, what's wrong?
She looked at your face and thought, "What's he like without the beard?"
Ryan knows that I hate that kind of noise.
Oh, like the tonguey, salivary thing.
Yeah, like. No, that's not.
That was Bartek
And just
licking up
having the
his
headphones
creepy
on.
from the floor.
Oh, right, that's why you... Okay, I understand.
See,
No one understands because this is an audio-related
because
podcast.
I heard you
I
called-
made some sexy noises. Rachel freaked out, and Bartek's still a creep. And now Tommy Lee Jones is getting married to a woman who I believe still doesn't know is a Texas Ranger. Still thinks that he's an assistant
And she's
cheerleader.
having a bunch of cheerleaders as her bridesmaids.
No, they're not her bridesmaids.
Yeah,
they're
they
his.
are.
No, they're his.
No, they're on her side of the wedding party as well.
No.
Otherwise, she has nobody up there with her.
No, she does.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
She doesn't.
You know
She does.
We'll
she has
see.
us.
Hold on.
She has us, the
We'll
audience.
see.
She has us, the audience.
You know what, though, Ryan?
No, I meant on screen. On screen is what counts.
Look, she's wearing a different dress to them, so
Yeah,
she must
because
be.
she's his maid of honor. Well, like, first
You know,
person.
usually when we have Rachel on, like...
There's always an argument.
She
You're
always
right.
has, like, the things of, like, oh, she understands the woman's side and we're kind of confused. I kind of actually thought the similar thing to Rachel, though, this time. Like, they'd be the bridesmaids for her? Like,
Yeah,
it
like-
would be someone else that she knew?
but then who's he got?
For, like,
just
the
his
best
daughter.
man.
No, like he has his daughter and two of them, and then three of them are on the other side in front of the bride.
Little did we know he's getting married to his
See?
partner.
Look, she's got three.
No.
Three.
Yeah.
They have it split across. She doesn't have anybody standing up for her.
That's kind of upsetting.
So are all the bridesmaids meant to be on her side, like in a traditional wedding? Because I just thought this was like a symmetry thing.
Yeah, I thought this was a symmetry thing too.
Yeah, she doesn't have anybody that like we know that is attached to her personally.
Not all those
standing up
black
there.
women,
Well, those
That's
are the choir.
The choir.
but maybe she's hip and with it. I like how we don't get subtitles for his singing, by the way.
None of the songs in this movie had subtitles. Like, earlier when I was talking about how I liked the
Yeah.
I like the
I'm glad the Clash got enough money to be in this
I
movie.
said I like the law. I fought the war.
No, I fought the war.
I fought the law. Shit.
Because Full Metal Jacket.
I fought the war and I like the law. I like the war and I fought the war too and I like a law.
That's my favorite. Yeah, good song.
So if war, what is it?
Why is he
good
so
for?
sweaty?
Because he's fat, Ryan.
Oh, that's
he's
so
animated.
racist against the Asian community. We know that Cedric the Entertainer is a proud Asian man.
Yeah, Ryan, I weigh over 100 kilos, so I think I know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a beefcake. We get it. Calm down. It's all muscle, but calm
You're
down.
a buff stick. We
Yeah.
know this.
Buff stick who weighs
But I'm
You're
over.
a
very,
buff stick.
I'm very confused. Okay, in a shot just a
Buff
moment
stick.
ago, over like you see past her shoulder, you see Death Proof is sitting in the pew.
No,
see, that's
no.
her sitting in the pew.
No, she's not sitting in the pew. She's standing behind and she's below in the like.
But that
there's
makes-
steps. So she's still standing up because she's above the rest.
Okay,
because
because I was like, why is she sitting in the pew? Is she not a part of this? He's like, I don't like that Death Proof girl.
Yeah, but
Wait,
we
so
see.
Oh, that's why he's sweaty. He was wearing that underneath.
Wait, so is she in the pew?
No,
Or is she not?
She's not in the pew. It just looks like she is.
So
'cause
she's standing with the rest of the
She's,
girls?
she's standing with the rest of the girls, but because the stage is elevated, she looks like she's on a similar level to the rest of them because, like, of perspective and the distance between her and the audience.
Because if she was in the pew, then who was the fifth girl?
I was the fifth girl. We were all the fifth girl.
Ryan! You 12-year-old at the time this film was made.
Maybe.
Yes.
And
No, maybe.
There's the moment.
Chong.
Oh, poor Cedric, and he never walked again. He's been disabled ever since, and
the
he
table
we
here.
don't see him get up.
we don't see him again.
And
So,
that was the end of that.
and that's the end of the movie where Cedric the Entertainer
Quatene.
gets completely crippled. So
Second billing too.
well, he was second largest person in the movie.
Who was the big boy? Ryan.
James Richard Perry as himself.
Oh, of course.
So, that's the film, guys. I think we spoke a lot about it. Do we need to give reviews? Yes, that's a part of the format. Do we need to give ratings of our choices? Yeah, that's part of it too. I'm going to go straight off. There's a guy called Sheevan there, by the way. Morris. But I'm going to go straight off. Man of the house, more like man of the yes. I give this film a solid yes. That's my rating. I'm going straight off with that. It's a solid yes movie. There's certain movies that you see in your life where you go yes, and there's ones that you say no to. This movie is yes. It's light, it's fun, it's comedic, but it also is touching. It plays with stereotypes, but dissuades them as well. This muddies the waters for people who expected to see something lower, because this is higher than the audience's expectations of it, and I think that's a reason of why this didn't succeed. You hear the plot of Tommy Lee Jones' sorority house, and you think to yourself,
Are they in a sorority? Because they're just the cheerleaders, so they're part of the squad.
So what's the house?
exactly.
So like I feel like just like the clubs rather than a sorority because they're slightly different.
Rachel, give your review. I gave this a solid yes. Rachel, what's your rating and review?
She gives it a liquid yes.
Why a liquid?
Because I gave it a solid.
Liquid, and then I'll give it a gas yes.
No, I thought I was going to say solid. She was going to say liquid, and you're going to say solidus.
Oh, right. The snakes.
Snake.
Because there's no gas snake.
There is no gas snake. And we give a solid out of, like, a solid above Raiden, because that's like anything above that is top notch.
Right.
Because Raiden is the lowest you can go.
Raiden.
Yep.
Hey ho.
Rachel?
I don't know what more I can say about this film. Not that we...
Hustle on up for Jesus. It was a song.
There is more that can be touched on. We didn't even really fully address the bomb of the movie.
The bomb? That's a very mean thing to say about Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh, the car explosion.
We did.
No, we talked about foreskin, Ryan.
Yeah, it was
We're talking about
foreskin.
circumcision.
That was the ejaculation.
We were
It was a
talking-
very sexual scene.
We were talking metaphorically about the car explosion.
Okay, literally, it was an
I was
explosion.
like, you
on
mentioned the bomb,
screen.
and I'm like, what are you talking? Oh, there was an explosion.
See, so much happens in this film. It's ridiculous.
Well, fun
The
fact, there
guy
was several
trying-
explosions in the movie.
Yeah, there was the one at the start with the, like...
Warehouse.
Yeah, you just feel so dedicated that Tommy Lee Jones did his own stunts for that particular scene.
He did, and I'm very proud of my son.
He is very good.
Guys, did you all hear that?
He's my son.
Oh my god.
I love my son.
Wow.
I didn't exist before this movie, but I made him. I'm God.
Oh, wow.
A rating?
I haven't even actually given a review.
I thought that was your review. We didn't agree.
That was a review of the podcast, if anything.
I thought you were reviewing the fact that this movie had an explosion and you liked it.
You never listened to me.
Bartek, no. I'm right in that assumption. Rachel, go on, Rachel.
I wish to apologize to my past self that I let myself forget this movie.
Yeah.
To forget how amazing it is. And that just how touching it is to see Tommy Lee Jones develop this relationship with these cheerleaders and to start developing more of a solid relationship with his daughter. It's just very beautiful.
Rachel, I have something to let you know about. I actually talked to past Rachel, and she has a message for you.
Yeah.
Past Rachel came up to me the other day, and she said, future Rachel's gonna, apologize to me, and I just want you to tell her that...
No, she means future Rachel, but then current Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Will apologize, yeah.
That's right. She just wants to say that she forgives you, she loves you, and you're better than you think you are.
And I've got a message from future Rachel from now. I saw future Rachel in the future, and future Rachel said, Ryan, everything he said in that episode of the podcast was A-grade material. He was completely right, and you were wrong about it. Tell past/current Rachel that she was immature and shouldn't have given up talking on the podcast. She actually said, future Rachel said, that's my biggest regret in life.
What about potatoes?
Was not agreeing that potatoes were yellow. mashed potatoes or yellow.
See, you
And-
changed
and
it
disagree.
now. You changed it now. That's not fair. That is not the argument at hand.
Argue that with future Rachel. So, what's...
I'm not going to be arguing with myself. I'm still going to be arguing with you.
I live with her. She argues with herself every day. I can promise you that.
Yeah, but not about this issue.
She will eventually.
Possibly.
In the future. Which is where we'll all end up. Eventually.
Eventually, I will get my rating out.
What is your rating, Rachel? Is it... I give this all the golden mashed potato out of every gold potato, which is all of them.
See, Ryan, you really are God in this episode because you're making me like super racist and you're making her like super
4 golden potatoes.
Conflicted. Self-fighting.
Yeah, well...
See, I brought up past Rachel.
I'm an omnipotent god.
You're a disappointing god. That's why nobody believes that you exist anymore.
People believe. You do.
And yet you thought Vishnu was the main god.
Of India.
We have no proof as yet.
I'm not the main god of India. We haven't really got many Indian listeners, guys, from India. Please listen to this episode. You'll be converted, I swear.
So are you now going to tag the podcast as India?
Hashtag free India from the lack of spin polish.
My favourite part was he said in the middle of the episode, in fact near the end of the episode, please listen to this episode. Which means that they would have to like say...
They already halfway through.
They would go up to their friends and say, Akshay, please pick up... I picked a normal name. And
Yeah, no. Because you went specific with this.
Yes. Just pick a random episode, put a random point on, and like, you know, Destiny will pick the point where you said, please listen to this episode. People
And that's when Akshay turns around and goes, I don't believe in destiny. I'm an atheist.
Fair enough.
I give man of the house vagina music.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, ooh.
You know why Bartek's upset? Because that's exactly what he was going to give it. Bartek, your rating and review. Or review and rating. You have to decide.
I'll start with my rating. I give it a gas vagina.
Music.
Yes. We didn't really dwell on it too much, but I did point... Aw, you pinched his cheek. Aw, Rachel's pinching his cheek and giving him a little kiss on
Little do you know, it's my butt cheeks.
Ryan, you're so edgy today. People don't kiss bum cheeks.
Don't they, Bartek? You clearly haven't been in the bedroom.
Oh, sorry. Well, Ryan, I was called
He
a
lives on the
freak.
streets. Yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah.
Bartek's the kind of guy who only kisses on the lips.
Mhm. It's... I mean,
It limits you, Bartek.
Rachel, she called me a freak, and it's like, whoa, right in the heart.
Your review, your rating should be Rachel called me a freak. And that made me upset. That's your rating.
There was, I mean, Cedric the Entertainer's ringtone is Super Freak by Richard.
But
Super freak? That's
also,
Bartek, yeah.
Yesterday, when I was in a primary school teaching, there was a child that cried because somebody called him a weirdo.
Oh.
And that kid's name was Bartek. And he still poops and cries today.
On Wednesday, I ended a good class by saying, like, oh, congratulations, guys, you finished your assessments. For homework, 2,000-word essay on mime. And they all went, and I'm like, just kidding, guys, no homework.
And that was the great review on Men of the House.
No.
Now it's IMDb.
Now to the...
Look, I pointed out earlier in this episode, this film really explored how certain men talk to women. The episode also explores relationships. And you know what? If you watch the movie itself, you'll get it. I mean, you'll get it. You'll see it right there. It's a film that doesn't leave any questions that don't have to do with grocery bags at grocery stores.
Yeah, that's right.
Watch it. You'll get it. You'll see exactly what we mean. Listen to this commentary. You know, that's a follow-up to Ryan's recommendation of the episode, even though you probably listened to the episode up to this point.
Please listen to this episode.
Please do it. And
Do it.
It's always great to...
But, you know, avoid listening to Annie. Don't...
That's my
recommend-
favourite episode.
Yeah, I know.
Just avoid Rachel. I wish I could. No.
Ryan, you're making Rachel the butt of this episode, and it's not very...
You're the
nice.
freak of the episode.
Yeah, well,
My heart.
he's already making me kiss his butt, so...
Well, the cheek. Not
The cheek
Not the
of
anus.
the butt. Not the anal hole.
It's still the general vicinity. Like, you know...
Yeah.
I didn't make you. You just did it randomly.
just
And Bartek
inappro-
was shocked and
But you
cute.
pulled
and
your
he thought-
pants down. You were the one that pulled
Hey,
your
just
pants
because
down.
I pull my pants down on the podcast doesn't mean that you automatically have to kiss Bart. Bartek always does the podcast.
Shut your ass in my face. What do you
Well,
expect
look,
me to do?
Bartek always
I
spits his ass.
punch you in the anus? Do you want to punch? Oh wait, no. You wanted me to tickle you in the anus?
Like James Brown, like Jackie
no,
Chan
not James
and
Brown.
James Brown watching James Brown
girl
in the
to Jackie
tuxedo.
Well, Ryan, you are wearing a bathrobe in this episode. I
Well,
mean,
here's the thing though. I do every episode pantsless, and I shove my face in Bartek. I shove my butt in Bartek's face, and he doesn't feel the need to kiss.
No, but
He just feels the need to continue talking rubbish.
this is why you went commando today for me.
I always go commando when I do this podcast, Rachel.
No, you don't.
If you
Is
listen
this-
to the show, you would hear it.
is it still a thing that I'm always shirtless when we do episodes?
Bartek's always got no shirt on.
Okay.
He's braiding his chest hairs to his beard hair. It's very awkward for the guest because they're fully clothed and haven't been warned. That's why if you listen to the show, you can hear the guest is silent for the first 5 minutes because not only because we're not introducing them till then, but they're just in shock.
Are you sure it was
Yeah.
in 10 minutes, Ryan?
It's a buff.
10 minutes.
So
So
he's a buff stick.
that's the end of Bartek's review, ladies and
I'm a
gentlemen.
buff stick.
Because we're really on topic today.
Can I go to IMDb, Bartek?
Guys, I have an idea. Ryan, did you find IMDb reviews?
I did.
Dude, could you, totally read them, please?
Okay, this first one
Yeah?
I think there's
involves a
some
bit
more
of
things.
homework.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this one, I'm just gonna, before we start it,
Uh-huh.
I asked Rachel and Bartek
That's me.
to ask their mothers
Mama.
if this statement is true. So I'm gonna get you guys to refer to the answers and myself because I asked my mum after this review. So this is no star rating called Tommy Lee Jones, a treat for the mature woman. Ridiculous premise? Absolutely. Predictable plotline? Unfortunately. But I'll tell you what, when I see this movie, the solidly packed audience found it quite hilarious, and so did I. Of course, the Austin setting was a plus for me, and it was the first movie filmed around UT, and that was allowed to use the name and logos. It was fun to see local landmarks including Buffalo Billiards, Threadgills, the campus, and the governor's mansion. But how could Tommy Lee Jones go to Threadgills and leave without eating one deep-fried dill pickle? That's a question. I made an unofficial poll of the women that I know who are over 40 years of age, and every single one said, I love Tommy Lee Jones. If that is a part of his demographic, this movie should do really well. With TLJ delivering zingers in that cowboy voice, admitting to his 55 plus years and keeping his smiles for the womanly Ann Archer while wrangling the herd of young cheerleaders. The supporting cast was also fun to watch. Just remember, this is not a film, it's a movie. So I asked if that statement of if over 40-year-olds think that Tommy Lee Jones is a treat or attractive. My mother said, no, but he is charming. She said, Tommy Lee Jones is charming. She wouldn't go on a date with him, but maybe depending on the circumstances. I said, if this circumstance happened, and I listed the circumstance in which he's buying pads for girls, and you asked him on a date and he declined, and then he asked you in the car park and gave you a bag full of pads, would you say yes? And he's also going to make you 5-alarm chili? She said no. My mum, unfortunately. She just has too much. That's my mum.
Not a fan of chili.
High standards mum, I call her. But I said to her, do you think that the statement of that for over 40-year-olds he's for them? And she said, oh, I think he was supposed to be. And I said, what do you mean by that? And she said, well, I'm not American. I can only speak as an Australian. He didn't really hit the over 40-year-olds here, but I think in America, probably. Rachel, what did your mum have to say?
My mum rated him as an 8.5 out of 10,
That's pretty high.
but stated that he was only reasonably attractive.
That's still better than not at all.
Yes. So I feel like she was somewhere in between. Like, she's not Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. Because she just brought up how much she loves Hugh Jackman.
Who's a
instead.
12 out of 10.
Yes.
Bartek, what did your mama have to say?
Bit more of a scientific answer.
Your
I
mum's a
suppose.
scientist about Tommy Lee Jones. Yes? Hello, NASA? We've got Bartek's mum here to explain the life form that is Tommy Lee Jones. What does she have to say?
I like how you jump straight to NASA for science.
Because
I would jump to like laboratory people doing experiments, but
I like how
just-
NASA's not laboratory people doing experiments.
CSI.
Yeah, but like more in the sense of like mixing chemicals and working with
Ah,
animals.
fine. Hello, McDonald's. They do scientific tests on
Dude,
how
that
to
was a
make
great joke.
how to make tar look like meat.
Basically, my mum said that he's not the typical type of attractive, not the classic, good looks kind of guy. But he has an air of mystery about him,
Yeah.
which some women could find attractive. That's a current recurring notion in society. He's mysterious. And some people find that attractive. She thinks that he looks interesting, and that's basically the extent of her.
I agree. As an under 40-year-old woman, and not woman, I think he looks interesting. Rachel, as an under 40-year-old woman, do you find him interesting?
So you're not going to confuse my gender?
Oh,
This
want me to
time?
check it?
No.
All right, checking it.
She answered the.
Oh my
female
god,
only.
it's just a plastic mound down there.
I am actually a Barbie doll.
She's a literal Barbie doll.
You know this by now. We've been together 5 years.
So, Rachel, do you find him interesting?
Yes.
Bartek, you obviously do. Your erection says so.
I mean,
so.
dude, he's literally a man in black.
He's men. So, I have another review here. It's from the year the movie came out, 2005.
Okay.
2005. This is written in the woodlands of Texas.
Okay.
It's called I Liked It. 5 stars out of 10.
I mean, I guess they're on the 5 positive stars.
I am very well known for scoffing at my husband for taking me to see movies that are not Oscar-worthy. I have learned not to go to the movies with my teenagers because most of their choices, in my opinion, are dull and poorly made. Thus,
Are you just saying that?
they didn't like that I drug them to Mystic River last year. They didn't understand why I liked it. Although Man of the House was not a well-made movie and did contain a lot of cliches, I enjoyed it. The lines were quite funny, and Tommy Lee Jones, being the wonderful actor he is, pulled off the hard-nosed guy with a soft side very well.
Yep.
The interaction between him and the girls was believable, and the girls all had their own distinct personalities. The Latin hothead, the good girl, the dumb blonde, the beautiful ex-bad girl Hick, and the level-headed but stubborn leader. I might have enjoyed it because it has a touch of girl power in it, kind of like Thelma and Louise. I might have liked it because I love Tommy Lee Jones, and I might have liked it because I am an ex-cheerleader and currently a cheer coach, which would actually be a reason not to like it because the cheerleading in it was for show only, not a realistic portrayal of our sport by any means. Nonetheless, the less I tend to be hard-nosed where movie making is concerned, and I liked it. It's a safe bet as a rental. Watch your teenage sons. There are a lot of half-dressed girls. Think Coyote Ugly, but worse. If you are looking for a Bring It On type movie, this is not it. This is more along the lines of Sugar and Spice.
The intensity of my clapping was for how personal she was getting.
Well, we've got a 10-star review here, guys. It's called Worth a Look. 10
All caps?
stars.
All caps? Is that
No,
what-
just
Nope.
2 to 3 exclamation marks.
Yeah.
It starts out with this. Very good. Tommy Lee Jones, I salute you. All of these end with exclamation marks, by the way.
How many?
Pretty much most of the sentences.
Okay.
This
I think
movie...
it's just one each.
This movie
Okay.
was a fun way to spend 90 minutes. I will go and see again and get it on DVD. Too many people know how to just enjoy a good popcorn flick. If you want to see a fun movie and have some smiles, see this in the theaters. Too many people slam movies that are only meant to be enjoyed. I fear if too many miss this movie, the studio hats the studio hats will think we must only like remakes. For the love of fun flicks, see this movie. You may not come away with all the wisdom and answers that some movie snobs complain about, but you will be able to say you had fun. The cheerleaders may get a little bit on your nerves, but it's all in good fun.
They really did predict the future.
That's why I chose this review.
This film didn't go well, and we are just getting
remakes. You know, I can't wait for the remake of Man of the House.
For the listening people who are familiar with the fact that I usually bring on YouTube comments, this one was an uncommon film from that mid-2000s era where there just aren't many comments on YouTube or quizzes that were made about it, although Ryan did find the cheerleader one, and I commend him for that. I only managed to find 3 YouTube comments that I thought would be worth bringing on the show, which means that, like, oh, well, I'll just bring in the best one, but I forgot it. But the main points of that comment were basically that the guy really liked the movie. He thought the women were very how. I think he meant to write hot, but he wrote how. And that he would, quote, wife any of them for life. And that also he was amazed that 12 years had passed since the making of the film. It was a very recent comment. And that he said, I hate time. And his username on YouTube is 80s_kid.
Now, I have a review here. Last one. I feel like... Now, I know it's not... And I don't know why, but I feel like this review could have been written by Bartek.
Okay.
Because when Bartek gets confused by movies sometimes, he talks exactly like this person in this review. When having to describe a plot of something that you're a little bit rattled by or confused by or didn't fully like or get. No star rating, this is called pretty good. Tommy Lee Jones interacts well with the cheerleaders. And this is a movie, it contains spoilers, guys. First, he just lists all the stars in the movie, and then has a separate paragraph for Ali Ermey. What?
I was just trying to look at something on the screen.
No. What do you want to look at? It's just writing, Rachel.
No, because next to the year, she has that it's 2.5 stars.
Oh, there you go. 2.5 out of 2.
No.
What?
2.5 stars out of 5 or out of 10.
Well, guys... I'm just going to launch into the review, Rachel, if that's all right with you.
I just want to make sure that they have all the pertinent information.
Prepare for Bartek's review, guys.
Okay.
When the first scene of this movie happened, I was interested but confused. I had no idea really what was going on. Someone gets shot, then they show a guy up on the roof of a building with a sniper rifle.
Wait, they didn't understand what the split screen thing meant?
Wait, then they show a building with a guy with a sniper rifle in his head. Then there's a chase. I'm just laughing because you're laughing, that's why. Then there's a chase. Cheerleaders are in another scene. Seeing another person get shot. It's like they've just discovered...
They don't understand transformation of time and place.
They don't know what a movie is. Then they see another person get shot. Then finally, I kind of catch up with the story. I guess the reason why they call it Man of the House is because the main star, Tommy Lee Jones, meets up with these cheerleaders in, I guess, a question room and asks them questions.
An interrogation room, yes.
Ask them questions about the shooting they witnessed. Mostly about the guy who shot the man in the shooting. Rachel, that's English for you. This was written in America, by the way.
Yes.
Then the main star moves in with the girls in a house with the cheerleaders live in. And he is pretty much in charge of them, even though it's only the cheerleaders' house. The movie was interesting at the end, but in the middle, I was kind of confused. Did you hear I described the beginning and was confused?
Yes.
The middle, confused, but the ending, it all came together.
Yep.
I would say there were some more confusing parts, and most parts I knew what was going on. There was at least one scene where Tommy was thinking that maybe this guy in a mascot suit was involved in the scene of the crime. He especially thought that when he saw a gun in the mascot's hand. He plunged towards the mascot, calling his men, in brackets, apparently being cops, over to... His men inspected the mascot and the gun was only a water gun and it was all a joke. I was sure in that scene that this guy was a real bad guy, but he wasn't. Bartek, he was sure, but then he wasn't. It's like, you know what I love about this review already? It's like when you're watching a movie and you have those initial thoughts before your logic kicks in. Like, of course he's the bad guy. Oh, wait, no, of course not. That was the only scene Tommy thought he saw the real guy involved in the crime. I have to say that scene was a very interesting scene that kept my eyes glued to the television. Also, in the movie, Tommy kind of falls in love with this woman and has a date that lasts about 15 minutes. That was one of the boring parts. In my opinion, this movie was better than I thought it would be. I can't tell you any more of the scenes in this movie because that would kind of give it all away. I told you the most important part. The main plot, with a few extra scenes here and there, and that's what mostly counts. Movie directed by Stephen Herrick. So, that there, guys, was Man of the House. We were joined by Rachel Apps, who felt a lot of emotions.
Anioł Stróż. It's a Polish title.
Oh, Angel Guard, yeah.
Yes.
You guys have been amazing, fantastic, wonderful listening people. Rachel, you've been a great guest. Argumentative, but great still, nonetheless.
Thank you for lying to me.
I'm not a liar. When you joined in, it was great. Is this when you decided not to join in? You're like, I'm refusing.
You mean the point where I started to talk more than I had in the previous half?
Yeah, how
of the
dare
episode?
you? How dare you, Bartek, be racist on the show? That propagated Rachel to start talking. Wow.
Well,
Completely off the chain.
You two know how to carry this show on your own. You don't always need an and you've proved
So we
that.
can
over
carry,
and
we
over
can
again.
pick up. Like, what else can we do?
You can spit and polish.
Oh, there you go. And that's the name of our show, guys, and you've been listening to it. You guys, if you want to share the show with people, just say, check out Spin Polish Presents, and I'm sure your friends can look that up and find us on iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Podbean. We're there, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess we need to go on MySpace,
Yes.
so that way we can quiz that girl about her quiz.
Yeah.
You guys have been fantastic, amazing, wonderful, great listening people. Until next time, remember to be kind to each other.
Rachel and I are going to start a huge revolution, opposing the tyranny of Ryan, who dictates everything as the god he is, the omnipotent god.
You can't do a revolution against a god if you're mere mortals.
We can do it if we believe.
But you're currently in the physical manifestation of.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you incarnated as a
Or are
human.
you thinking that I'm here and I'm actually just astral projecting?
No, I think...
No, I pinched your cheeks and kissed
Yeah,
your
well,
ass.
exactly, but that's because I want you to. That's because I'm allowing it.
Yeah.
You can't be a tyrant to us.
Oh, I'll be a tyrant.
And I can't. We're going to kill you.
Oh no, I've already been killed before.
Kill you again.
You can't kill a god.
Yes, I can. I'll try hard.
We'll kill you by not believing
Does
in
a
you.
god bleed? I'll make you bleed. That was a quote from Spit and Polish Presents. Zack Snyder, I'm suing you for taking that quote in your Batman versus Ryan Man.
Try it, Ryan. You can sue me if you want.
Is that Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
That's Zack Snyder.
Have you ever heard an interview with Zack Snyder before?
Zack Snyder always comes across to me as more like, hey man, I just made a movie about like gay men fighting a bunch of other gay men. It's called Watchmen. No boy.
I've never heard what he sounds like.
That's exactly what it sounds like. I nailed that. Like Christ on the cross. I can't wait for Zack Snyder's Passion of the Christ, in which he has slow-mo, fast-mo versions of the nails going in, and it's all shot like it's this color palette that looks like murky water.
If you have made it this far into the podcast, I congratulate you.
Yes, they're gonna come out saying, the mashed potato line, the revolution skit, those were the greatest. They just changed completely by the end. And it just gave, amazing commentary.